Happy to have y'all both on the platform, man. For the people that's not familiar with y'all, introduce yourself to the people.
All right, man. I'm Clayton Howard. I am the gentleman who had the courage to sue Cassie for being part of the conspiracy that Diddy recently beat.
And I'm Daniel Phillips. I'm the guy that everybody's been looking for, trying to find out who I am. But yeah, I was also one of the guys that was subpoenaed to testify against Diddy in the Diddy and Cassie trial. I was one of the guys that was intimate with Cassie.
Out of curiosity, how did both of y'all meet?
We met inside of a Diddy freak off, which is a chapter in my book, where the two of us had a how can you know what? We'll just say it for what it is. We had an orgy with Cassie. No homosexual activity involved. Got to say that for the record. Um, Diddy called each one of us independently to come meet Cassie. Neither of us were told about the history of each other, but basically we were brought together for a competition to see who could last the longest to allegedly be her main provider or main guy, whatever she wanted to call it.
Yo, that's funny though, because he describes it that way, Art. But to me, I was there before him, and they asked me if it would be okay for them to bring somebody else. I didn't even know whether it was going to be like another guy or whatever, but he shows up. They never mentioned anything to me about a competition, man. Apparently they mentioned to him that we was having some big competition or whatever to see who lasts the longest. But, I'm either way, I'm happy that I didn't take that consolation prize. Let's just say that.
So take me through that exact day. Like, what exactly happened?
Let me start first.
It's just weird, bro. Like, I mean, you can start if you want, man. It's strange. I'll say that and let you do your thing, bro.
All right, so I get a phone call from Cassie this day, like, "Hey, what's up?" And like she's beautiful, she's intelligent. I have been sleeping with her for years at this point. And truthfully, considering the way the situation worked, every time I used to see her number come on the phone, it was like cha-ching, payday. So I see her call this day. I'm like, okay, band off. We going G off today. Cassie's calling me. So when I get on the phone, normally when I get on the phone with her, she's like friendly, she's affable, she's inviting. This time, however, she's the same thing, but she throws in, "Hey, would you mind if another guy was here?" Now, at that point, I thought I was the only guy. So naturally, and I think I told you this the last interview, Art, I was kind of hurt. I'm like, who is another person? So she starts explaining to me, and she literally lays it down like this, that she has two guys, and her and Diddy want to get these guys together to see who's the best, because he doesn't want her to have two guys. He wants her to have one guy. So she literally puts this situation before me, kind of making it seem like, you're gonna fuck or you're gonna get fired. Realizing that situation, trying to protect my income stream, because I did consider her an income stream at the time, I had to strap up and go in for war, And that's how when I got there, I came across this brother. So I'll let him take over, then we can mingle.
Yeah, man. Yo, this is just weird, bro. Like, first off, it's weird as to already have another man in the room while having sex with a woman, but like it's a strange dynamic to have Cassie be as visually like stunning and sexy as she is. And then a part of you is like, I really want to go in and do this, but then the other part of you is like, this motherfucker in the corner over here dictating how to do this and how to do that is like really like pulling me in the opposite direction. So you take that and then you add another guy to the mix, and it just gets real strange, man, especially once he becomes like active and you fall off and you just sitting there watching like, yo, I like it's just weird, bro. I don't know how else to explain that, man. It is weird.
I know that had to be annoying, right? Having Diddy in the corner telling y'all what to do.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes. It was annoying. It was uncomfortable. You was always on your guard because you didn't know if he was going to try to sneak up behind you and stall on you. It was definitely uncomfortable. Yes.
Bro, you ever had one of those cars that have a limiter on it? Like you can't go past a certain speed. I mean, you bought this because it goes crazy fast, but you gotta do 100 miles on that bitch before it actually opens up and allows you to go all the way. That's what it feels like. feels like you got a limiter on it and you can't do your thing, bro.
I can only imagine. I know her being a pretty woman. I know both of y'all want to lock in and, do what you do, but you got this guy messing up the vibe.
You know what the worst experience, the realization, it wasn't even the worst experience. I want to say the eye-opening experience. That's a better thing to say is when I walked into the room and he was in front of her with his penis in her face. I was heartbroken, yo. Because that's when the realization that she had other men doing the same thing I was doing to her and she was doing to other men. That's when it hit me right there when I saw him and she was loving it. Like she's there, she's all engaged. This guy's, penis is in her face. Diddy's sitting over in the corner. I'm sitting on this couch. I'm sitting on, I think it was a chair there because we was in the bedroom. I'm sitting on the bedroom just drinking because honestly, I messed up. Oh, and I got to get drunk just to continue because literally I'm thinking I'm making love to this beautiful woman for 2 years. And now I see that not only am I doing it, but he's doing it too. And he looks like he's having sex with her pretty much the same way I am. So it was definitely, it was an experience I had to adjust to in order to get through it.
Yeah, I know that had to feel terrible, thinking she one way, but you walk in and you see her doing something completely different.
Yeah, it's interesting that you said that too, bro, because the one thing that gets you out of this is Cassie is so relatable, like in person, like she's just a down ass, chill ass chick. Like like I was just talking to Clay before the interview, man. She used to lay on my lap on the couch, just shooting the shit, talking for like hours while Diddy was doing whatever the hell he was doing in another room and whatnot. And, so when you go from feeling like you're building this kind of a friendship, relationship, connection, and she's telling you you're the only one I'm doing this with. Yeah, you feel a little betrayed, a little butthurt, bro. when another dude, no pun intended,
Pause.
bro, but
Yeah. I was gonna say that too.
You know what I mean? You feel a little bit violated, bro. It sucks. It's not a good feeling, my man. It's not a good feeling at all. Yeah.
So can I ask him something real quick? Can you say that you was just as disappointed when you saw me as when I saw you?
Hell yeah, I hated you, bro. I was like, this motherfucker, like, who is this motherfucker coming on my session? Like, yeah, I didn't like that at all, bro. I ain't like it at all, man. Like, and yeah, but after a couple of breaks and we started talking a little something like, yo, this is crazy, right? And weird and whatnot. And, like we started shooting this shit, realized we was cool and whatnot. And, that aggression toward each other, I guess, kind of started like dissipating a little bit. But
so our friendship was built inside of a P. Diddy freak off.
Yeah.
No homo.
Which is crazy. that shit sound crazy, bro.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
How long was the sessions?
2 days.
2 days, about a day and a half, 2 days. Yo, bro,
Yeah, bro.
they used to go in, bro. Yeah. It's kind of funny because the session only ended. Like my brother over here was tired, bro. Like we had been up like 2 days. Neither of us was really indulging in any drugs with them at the time. So we were like regular and they were high off of ecstasy and Molly. So, they could be up 2-3 days. So me and him maybe like a day and a half in. I remember I approached him and I said, yo, bro, listen, it don't got to be no winner here. We could both say we tired and we could split the check. What's up, bro? He says, I don't know about you, brother, but I'm good.
Nah, but check it, dude. Like, yeah, for sure. I definitely had that, like, yo, this motherfucker right here, like, stop talking to me right now. Like, bro, I had that, right? But also, I was there already for like fucking 8 hours before you came.
Yeah.
Like, I was there for like half a day already, bro. So
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, dude, like that, and they never said shit to me about a competition or none of that, bro. So it's hilarious to me when I hear you like saying that, because I'm like, they said that to you, but the thing is, obviously, they wanted that aggression. They wanted to see us like battling each other and shit like that, and I wasn't with that shit, man. Like, this shit was weird anyway, bro. There's some weirdo shit, bro, and I just was like, you know what, man, like, yeah.
Just gotta put your professional hat on, bro. That's all I did. I looked the other way and went in.
Yeah, that was the first time that I have to say that I was like, you know what? At the end of this, most likely I'm getting a bag, so let me just stick with this. But this is some bullshit, and I definitely started second guessing whether or not I was going to entertain that shit again. But then I had a conversation with her again after that encounter, and she was telling me, yeah, no, we're not gonna be with the other guy anymore. I'm only gonna deal with you, and like, like it's the same shit dude, this shit was literally methodical, bro. It was structured to a T.
This chick should be in jail. She's a pathological, manipulative liar. And considering I'm the person who came out with the lawsuit against her, I don't really care what the public thinks. She lied through her teeth. She manipulated him. She manipulated me. She manipulated the Punisher. She manipulated every guy she dealt with to make us think that we were the only one. How is she not on trial with Diddy? I'm confused.
But you bugging, bro. Like not bugging, but I mean, like, let me see. She didn't try to manipulate us to think, or only manipulate. She flat out said it to me. I'm gonna speak for myself because I constantly was asking her, "Yo, I'm your only person that you doing this with?" And she's like, absolutely, we don't really do this like that. This is not really our thing. You're the only guy that we're doing this with. And then I would give her my STD results all the time because they was constantly trying to get me to have sex without a condom. And so I brought it up and I was like, yo, if we're going to do this, I'm going to need your STD results. Bro, for months. She kept giving me the runaround like, oh, I had it. I just was so busy. I lost the password, all this shit. I'm giving her my shit. She not giving me hers. But you don't have to worry about it. You're the only one that I'm with outside of my husband. But at this point, man, I already knew who he was off the rip, bro. The first encounter that I had with him, he made the mistake of speaking to me. And bro, like, yeah, this was my idol growing up, bro. Like as a businessman, I wanted to be just like this dude. I wanted to have fashion companies and have properties all over the world, and like start working with people that needed resources, that had less than me. Yeah, it was crazy, man. I used to literally idolize this dude. I used to walk in Times Square past that billboard he had. You remember that billboard?
The Sean John?
Yeah, the Sean John joint with the mohawk every single day, Art. I used to be like, yo, you gonna know me by first and last name. So I used to talk to his billboard. You gonna know me by first and last name someday. We gonna do business together. Watch, bro. And what I learned from that is the universe could be funny as hell, man. You better be very specific with the shit that you talking about, because God damn it, this is not what I meant when I said that me and this man was gonna be doing business together someday, but it's sure what I got.
So Cassie told both of y'all personally that y'all won the competition.
She told me, she flatly told me, like, listen, I got two guys. I like you. My husband doesn't want me to have two guys. So listen, you got to come for your spot. She flatly told me basically, and I'm summarizing it, you got to for your position. I thought about it briefly. And I'm for the money, bro. I jumped up to go handle my business. When I got into the situation, it was the shock I wasn't expecting to see her so open and so affectionate with someone the same way she was with me. And from the second I first saw him, I knew he had saw her before this. They were too comfortable together.
Let me ask y'all this, right? Gotta ask, what would y'all do in between time? Because y'all said that it lasted, 2 days. So can y'all leave a hotel? Do they bring y'all food? Like, can y'all take breaks? I mean, how does that work?
Well, if we was in a hotel, we would probably all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But he and I met in Cassie's apartment on
Yep.
10th Avenue in one of the Trump buildings. She used to have Diddy had rented her an apartment on West End in the Trump buildings over there. So me and him met in Cassie's apartment. There was no room service. There was no water. The only breaks was them going into Cassie's bedroom while he and I sat in the living room and waited for them, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't long breaks. They might make us wait out there like 10, 15 minutes or something. And this is when me and him got cool. We started talking like, yo, bro, what's up? Blah, 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 blah. But basically, they leave us in the living room. They go in the bedroom, do whatever the hell they doing. Maybe he playing with some semen he saved over from somewhere else. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't get none out of either one of us that day. So maybe he had some in reserve from another person who been there before us. Who knows? Then they would come back out and we would start again. Because like I told you, the freak offs was literally the same routine every time you did them. Soft foreplay, fellatio, intercourse,
baby
ejaculation, baby oils all throughout that. And then we start all over again. Cassie coming is the reset button. When Cassie come, you reset, you start all over again.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And to answer your question, yes, they would order us food. They would ask us, yo, y'all hungry? You want something? We ordering food, what you want, whatever they bring it to us. If we in a hotel, you get whatever you want for room service, bro. Like
couple times I blew their room service up. Couple times I cheat off on Diddy room.
They tell you
lobster, steak, all that. Hennessy. When I'm in Miami, like, yo, could you bring me a liter of Hennessy? Sure, sir, no problem. $500 for a liter of Hennessy. Diddy paying for it. It's cool.
Yeah, not a problem.
So Daniel, take me through the first time you met Cassie and Diddy. How did that happen? And give me the play-by-play.
Yeah, man. So let me start off by saying I was never a freaking goddamn escort, man. I was managing a male review show, a show that's like Magic Mike, right? And I was opening up different locations around the country. I was managing our Times Square location, our Atlantic City location, Philadelphia location, so on and so forth. But we part of this show is that we had a separate service that we would provide to like bachelorette parties or that didn't come to the show. You can rent a guy for like $200 to go to wherever your location is. He does a little striptease, whatever, and then leaves, 20, 30 minutes later. You tip him the whole time that he's there, he goes. So that's what they called for. That was the service that they called for, to have a male stripper come out to their hotel. Now, my boss at the time, he calls me up and it's like 3:00 in the morning. He's like, I don't have any of my black guys on staff right now. I can't reach any of them. It's late, but I got this VIP client and I'm like quadruple charging them and they fine with it. So he's like, just go there. I already told them that they have to pay you double, like $400 when you get there. Can you please do it? So I'm like, it, okay, I'll go down there and I do it. I don't have any stripper clothes, anything. So I go down to one of those 24-hour souvenir stores in like Times Square. I buy like an NYPD shirt and an NYPD hat, and I go down to the Gramercy Park Hotel. When I get down to this hotel, they gotta use a key, like a card, in order for you to go up to the floor in the elevator. So they send me in. They told me that I needed to ask for black. So I asked for black. They keyed me up. I go to the hotel. I knock on the door. And boy, I was stunned. Like, I was not expecting. This woman opens this door. She is in full on lingerie. Has a sheer robe on or shawl on, and a full on look like Victoria's Secret runway show get up. That she's wearing.
Lace, right?
See-through lace. Yep. Got a red wig on, glasses on, and like these, I don't know if you refer to them as hooker boots. I don't want to refer to them as that, but like the tall platform shoes. Look super tall. I never seen a woman with a body this perfect before. Like, she looked incredible, man. She was glistening, all oiled up and shit. I was like, what is going on here? Now, I'm supposed to be here for a bachelorette party. So I ask her, I'm like, where are your girlfriends? And she laughs and she's like, no, we just said that to get you down here. But the truth is that, first off, before I say anything to you, your boss told me I needed to handle the business first. So I'm supposed to give you $400, right? And I was like, yeah. She gives me like $2,000-$3,000 right there. Boom. And I was like, what the is going on here? So she takes me in, closes the door, and it's like a little foyer that we're standing in before you can get into the hotel, the actual room. So we're standing there and we're talking, and she's like, okay, so here's the deal. It's my birthday, and my husband asked me if, what do I want? He wants to do something special for me. And I told him that I wanted a guy to come over here and rub baby oil all over my body, and, whatever is comfortable for you, we'll go from there and, see where things take us. But he's cool. You don't have to worry about it. He's not gay, so you don't have to worry about anything like that. And I was like, yeah, that's cool, because I'm not with that. So basically, we go into the hotel room. She's like, he's going to be watching. We go into the hotel room. There's candles on a table. There's a couch and baby oil, like 2 bottles of baby oil inside of, those champagne holders. And it's inside of water. I later learned that it was hot water to warm up the baby oil, and there's like 2 bottles of Astroglide on the table too. And so, man, I started rubbing her down, bro. She asked me to take my clothes off. I took my clothes off. She took her shit off. She asked me to rub her down, man. And 30 seconds later, man, I was in it. I was I was in it, and then I was out of it. Yeah, you know that song 1 Minute Man. Woo, that ain't last 60 seconds at all. I was so excited, bro. Like it was too much for my shit went into system overload at that moment. And so, but they basically I got dressed and left. And as I was, she paid me again. I think she paid me at this moment. But as I left, she calls me again, and she's like, "Yo, do you think that you could come again?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, absolutely. As a matter of fact, I think I need another go round because I'm not that 1 minute man, yo. But like, you're so hot. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like that threw me for a spin. They invited me back up, and this time I was up there for a couple of hours just going in, bro. And at the end of that, that's when Diddy actually spoke to me. He came up and was like, "Yo, my man, we like you a lot, bro. Would you be interested in doing this with us again?" And I was like, yeah. Because at that point he was quiet. He didn't try like dictating and directing anything. He was just sitting in a corner. You couldn't see him. You couldn't hear him. He was in the dark, like in a corner. It's almost like he wasn't even there. So this one was just me doing whatever I wanted to do with this woman. It was perfect. So I was like, absolutely, yeah. He took my number. He told her, take my number, babe, take his number. But it was when he spoke that I was like, oh my God, yo, I know who this is. And it's funny because I tried to play it off and I asked him, I was like, yo, this place is amazing. What the hell do you guys do? And he was like, I'm in importing and exporting. That's what he said to me. I had a laugh at that one, man. But yeah, I'm a little more careful not to I guess say the details and the type of things that she was actually saying. Because I do have a healthy respect for the fact that she is a married woman right now, and I don't, guy code still with me. I don't want to be out there like disrespecting her husband in that way. But you know, man, after this trial came out, I found out how many of these fucking guys are in this, man. Gloves are off, bro. I'm furious.
Yeah, I can only imagine how mad you would be, man, finding out all the men she was with. So Diddy, he told you that his job was import export.
Now that we know what he was doing, he kind of was. He was shipping in male prostitutes for Cassie, so he was importing and exporting us back to New York or wherever he was from. So maybe he's telling the truth.
So what will he be doing in the corner? He'll just be washing or he'll be masturbating?
Jerking off, homie.
He was masturbating.
Jerking off.
He was masturbating.
Yep. And it's awkward because you could hear that shit. I'm sorry, Art. It's very awkward because you could hear it. And it's nasty, bro. Shit sounds nasty.
It's like a slimy type sound.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna let him do it's nasty, man.
Disgusting.
Mad Astro.
You know it's
bro.
oil. You know it's oil.
Mad
Astro.
Glide.
You know it.
So do you think it was a situation where he enjoyed watching other men have sex with his girl, or do you think he only hired y'all because y'all can pleasure her in ways he couldn't?
I think he's a cuckold, bro. I think he likes to watch live pornography. I think he, I don't want to speculate and say that dude is gay or bisexual or anything like that. I personally never had any kind of, homosexual encounters with him at all. He never spoke to me that way, never looked at me that way, never touched me, none of that. So I can't speak to that part of it, but it's possible that, you mix those two things together, watching live porn and then, BBCs in a room and all the elements that turn him on is in a room. He probably just can't get enough. And it ain't just him. It's not just him. Like they asked me this during the trial if I thought that Cassie, enjoyed it. She seemed like she enjoyed it, right? And I told the truth. I was like, I can't say whether or not she enjoyed that. It seems like she did, but I can't say definitively. But she seemed to really be enjoying herself.
When did he start getting comfortable to the point that he revealed his identity to you?
He doesn't let you know his identity. He realizes that you realize who he is, and then the cat's out the bag. So for me, he made a mistake and opened up a hotel door full on Diddy. I'm talking like how the old Diddy that used to walk on the Sean John runway at the end of the show with the trench coat and like full on P Diddy, bro. And he was like, "Yo, hold on one second, bro." Like, and he closed the door. I hear him cursing Cassie out in the background, bro, because she told me to come, I guess, earlier than they were intending, because we originally was supposed to link up at the Dream downtown, and we ended up at the Jeremiah Essex house uptown. And that's how I ended up finding out who he was. And after that, he never used a mask or any of that shit with me again. But he did take a picture of my fucking ID that day and was like, "Yeah, just in case, bro." I was like, "Oh shit."
And you was concerned about him taking a picture of your ID, right? You feel like he had bad intentions.
Yo, Art, if you and me are sitting in a room right now and I asked you for any reason, "Yo, let me see your ID real quick." You show me your ID, I pull my phone out, I take a picture of it and say, "Yeah, just in case, you know." Put my phone back in my pocket and walk off. What that mean, bro?
It sounds like a low-key threat to me.
Yeah, he was fucking threatening me.
The drugs. When was the first time Cassie and Diddy gave you drugs?
Yeah, bro. Crack is whack, bro. Like I definitely for me, I am the worst crackhead that you will ever see in your life. I can't do no kind of drugs, bro. Because so I can't remember if it was Cassie or him that initially asked me if I wanted to try it. I believe it was her. She asked me if I ever tried it before, but they was both standing there together. And I was like, no. And I think he was like, "Yo, you want to try it? It's going to make you feel real nice. You're going to feel relaxed. You're going to feel like, like partying." And so I was like, "Man, I don't fuck with drugs like that, but I mean, I guess whatever." So I tried it. I mean, at this point, I've been with them for long enough. They're not hiding their identity no more. I'm shooting the shit with Cassie all the time now. Like, every time that we're together, we talking for hours and shit. So I feel a level of trust. And so I take this pill, and about 30 minutes in, man, maybe about an hour, I'd say about an hour in, I start feeling real jittery and shaky and real chattery. I start talking a lot. And so I guess I annoyed him. And he was like, "Yo, I think you need a break." So he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna pay you a little something. Go, get something to eat or whatever, and we gonna hit you back when you feeling a little bit less like chatty." And so I left out the joint. She lived like by the BMW building on 59th Street and like a 10th, 11th Avenue, 11th Avenue, West End Avenue.
It was Weston.
Yeah. So I don't know what happened, bro. Like it literally felt like 3 minutes later, my ass was in Times Square. I was up, bro. I felt like I just wanted to help everybody in my path. He gave me maybe $3,000-$4,000. And before I knew it, I had like 70 people standing around me because I was handing out $100 bills to everybody. I was like fucking Oprah, "You get a Benjamin, and you get a Benjamin, and you," like, yo, dude, I was giving it to kids. Homeless people was pushing each other, trying to like, it was crazy, bro. It was pandemonium. And then all of a sudden, man, I'm home. I don't even know how the fuck I got home, bro. I just realized I'm home. That's the next memory I have, and I'm throwing up for like 3 days, bro. Like I'm mad jittery. Anytime I eat water, every time I drink water, I feel worse.
Yeah.
Like the shit was crazy, bro. Like I don't know what the hell that shit was, but I don't think it was the same experience that they was telling me I was supposed to have. I don't know if that was ecstasy or what. But that's my drug story. It only happened once. The only other thing that Diddy used to offer me was like Cialis, bro, because
Yo, yeah, he did do that. Yeah.
yeah, he used to offer me that shit, bro. You know, yeah, because I didn't have the fucking Punisher ball pump, you know. And after he started kicking her ass in front of me, bro, that was it for me, man. My dick would not work in that situation for shit, bro. I immediately had ED, bro. Like I felt so uncomfortable, bro. I was scared. It was like, yo, at any point, because here's the thing, man. I know that I could beat the shit out of this guy, man. I hate to say it that way, but like we are some big ass dudes back then, bro. Like you see, people see me now and they like, yo, that guy is big. No, I'm not. I look like I ate me back then, bro. This guy was not gonna last anything if we was in a one-on-one fight. But the thing is, I told you I idolized this dude from the time I was in junior high school, fam. So it's like, you know what could potentially happen to your ass if you go down that path, bro. So it's almost like a big ass pit bull, you know, rage inside of you. You got that gorilla inside of you. You know what you could do, but you also know what is likely, not possibly, what is likely to happen to your ass if you cross that line. And it really fucks with you, man. It really does.
My thing is this, and I'll get back to the abuse in a second. But when they was giving y'all these drugs, they had no concern about what would happen to y'all.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes,
Thank
bro.
you.
Yes.
They
bro.
just let us leave.
They just let us leave.
Anything could happen to us out there, bro. I was out of my fucking mind, man.
I told you about my situation. I was throwing up on the bathroom floor. I was messed up. They put me out of the hotel and sent me out into the street to go home. Dude, I'm throwing up all over the floor and I'm delirious. That's why that situation happened, why I ended up walking from the Trump and Columbus Circle all the way down to Union Square. Because he put me out there with no regard for what was going to happen to me once I left that hotel. And now that I know what was going on, I see how little they actually regarded us as human beings. They just looked at us as penises that they could use whenever they wanted.
Yo, my peoples was clowning me, yo, back there. They was like, you know what would have happened to your ass if you was in fucking Brownsville or fucking East New York? Like, if your ass would have ended up out there not knowing how you got there, bro, your ass would have been cooked, man. Them motherfuckers probably to kidnapped you. Like, this is some rich dude's son. Fucking like, yo, that shit's crazy, bro. They just, like, he didn't just, it's not like he let me leave. That shit was not even a suggestion. That was an order, bro. Like, yo, you gotta go, son. Like, I got kicked the fuck out, bro.
Yeah, kicked you out.
High as shit. After they fucking made me, like, high off my ass, they was like, yo, you got to go, homie. Like,
yo, Art, he drugged me. And he didn't tell me what it was. He told me, I think he told me it was Molly. But when I was so high, I remember talking to Cassie and I'm like, yo, he gave me Molly. And she just looked at him tight. She's like, yo, that's not Molly. So she told me what he gave me was not Molly. And then y'all still put me out in the street. So, you know, from everything that happened, he probably gave me Tucci and I had a bad reaction to it because I don't do drugs like that. But the point is, you put me out in the street, anything could have happened to me. I could have got rolled. I could have got jumped. I could have walked in front of a taxi and been through somebody's windshield. They dirty, bro.
That's crazy, man. Because you would think they would be worried. Because if anything happened to y'all, it's going to fall back on them. They the ones gave y'all the drugs.
Nah, when you rich and powerful, bro, you ain't worried about that. Diddy's from New York. He was the king of New York at that time. So what, an escort get hit and get put through the windshield? If his name come up in it, guess what? He going to pay off the detectives and he's never going to be an investigation into him, bro. Diddy had power. A lot of power, especially in New York.
yo, what did Biggie say? He said, and that goddamn credit debit. You think a crackhead paying you back? Forget it, right? It's the same principle here.
Yeah.
Like, you talking about drug addicts supposedly supposed to be like caring about anybody else. They fucking high on drugs themselves. They're not thinking, you know, straight themselves.
They was crackheads, Art. Like, for real. They were heavily into drugs, Diddy and Cassie. Heavily into, and it wasn't because he was making her do drugs. She likes to do drugs as a young, beautiful woman who parties and who has a billionaire boyfriend. She's taking Molly. She's taking ecstasy. These are party drugs that make you want to be happy and have sex all day. She smokes weed to bring herself down a little bit when the Molly and the ecstasy start to mess with her nervous system. She drinks water to stay hydrated. She eats light and eats fruits and stuff. I learned how to do these drugs being with Cassie and Diddy. You eat light, you eat fruit, you drink a lot of water so you don't get dehydrated, things like that. The maximum you can go off these drugs, I want to say, is 4 or 5 days before you totally blank out.
That's crazy.
Just insane, man. But Daniel, when was the first time you seen abuse between Diddy and Cassie?
Yeah, that shit's crazy. It was actually in Cassie's apartment. and like we was in the middle of a free golf, um, and like the way her apartment is set up, like you see how I'm sitting on a couch right here, like maybe 10, 15 feet in front of me, Cassie would be sitting against the wall with her back facing me, and she has a computer there. And so I'm sitting on her couch, she's in front of me, and there's a wall right to the left of her, right? And so all of a sudden I hear Diddy, who's in her bedroom, he's like, yo, babe, come here. And she's like, yeah, no problem, but hold on one second. I have my computer on, my personal information out on my computer. Let me just take it off and I'm coming. Yo, all of a sudden, I just see this big ass bottle of liquor come flying past her face and just hit the wall, bro. It didn't even break, which was crazy, but the hit the wall and fell down. She got scared. He comes out the room, grabs her by her hair, bro, drags her off that chair and drags her into the bedroom. And I just hear, bop, bop, bop. Bitch, when I tell you to come here, you fucking come. Pop, pop. And she's just screaming, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Yeah, I got crazy goosebumps right now, man. Like, when I was testifying against this, bro, like not in the court, like when HSI first reached out to me about this, I like from the day that they started interviewing me all the way up to the point where we was just about to go to trial, bro. Every time I told this story, bro, I was having a fucking meltdown, bro. The guilt that I had, bro, because I just remember standing up, I'm gonna kill this fucking guy, and then sitting down like, you're gonna die, bro. You're gonna die, bro. All of the fucking goons is in the next room, the next apartment right next door, bro. You know what this is, bro. You know who this is, and it's like, yo, like how the do you make what is the right decision in that case, bro? There's gonna be a whole lot of fucking, dumbass people that's gonna be like, yo, you supposed to go in there and beat the shit out this dude. Man, please, bro. Let me tell you something. He was beating the shit out of this woman and she kept going back. And I'm not victim blaming, bro. But what I'm saying is there was certain to be two victims in this case, and one of them was probably certain to be excommunicado altogether. And that was me. Especially with if I would have attacked that dude, like there ain't no way it ain't making the news, bro. Cause I was gonna rearrange his motherfucking face, dude. The rage that was going through me, bro. But you you just don't know what to do in that situation, man.
gotta be
I
there.
stood up, I sat down, I put my clothes on, I fucking sat back down again. I'm like it's just you don't know what the fuck to do, bro. You don't know what to do. And then he has the audacity, fam, to walk out the room like 10, 15 minutes later and be like, yo, y'all ready? And Cassie, this is the first time that I could say I could differentiate between Cassie not wanting to do this and not wanting to be there and actually wanting to do it and be there, right? And so for me, I was done. There was no way in hell that I'm getting hard, none of that shit. She started coming over to me and hugging me, and she could tell that I'm like fucking like shaking up. I'm pissed, I'm angry. And she starts trying to comfort me, bro. Like it's okay, don't worry, I'm fine. Like all of this shit, bro, because he got up and went back in the room again. He could see that I'm not like into it.
Yeah.
And she starts trying to fucking console my ass.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here like, yo, no, you. Like, what the you need to get the hell out of this shit. You got to run. You got to call the cops. You got to fucking do something. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Don't worry about me. So the shit was just wild crazy, bro. And the thing about testifying in court, bro, is that they don't, court is interesting in that they only ask you the questions that they want to ask you. So you get only a partial part of the fucking story. You don't get this part of the situation. People will walk around and just be like, yo, he a pussy, he ain't do nothing, whatever, bro. Like, you be in that situation and have to make a decision whether or not you know this motherfucker most likely got a gun in the next room. You don't got a gun. You know he in the fucking room. You know his goons is probably right next door. You probably not gonna make it out of this situation. You don't know what the to do, bro.
And I could follow up on that, Art, because I was in the same situation where I saw Diddy put hands on her. I saw him literally two-piece her in the chest, like use the jab to measure her, follow up with the right hand, and twist his hip into that, homie. Like he literally knocked her across the room with this right hand. So, you know, me as a man, masculine, I say, yo, homie, what the fuck you doing hitting this girl? Yo, Artie flexed on me. Real king boss shit, bro. Dude goes like this. What you gonna do? Six back on the couch like this, looking at me. I'm gonna be honest, I was fucked up. A man ain't never did nothing like that to me with that arrogance. It wasn't even, and like I could feel that he wasn't threatening me with a physical approach. He knew that he could erase me if I put my hands on him. So still, I'm not really catching it at the time. I caught this later, like when I reflected on it. What stopped me from attacking him was Cassie. I remember looking to my right, and she was holding her chest, but she's looking at me and she's looking at him like she waiting for me to play Captain Saver. No, shorty, I just met you. You date this man. Clearly, he been doing this because you with it. So what you waiting for me to jump out the window? Nah. I'm from. Now listen, I'm a New Yorker. I'm not playing that. I seen plenty of girls get assaulted and they fight back. Even if they not gonna win, they jump. They wild. Oh, you hit me. Da 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 da. They trying to scratch through.
Yeah, but Cassie ain't built like that.
Listen,
Like you know that. Like you've had enough conversations with her, just like I have, to where you know she might try to act tough in these moments or whatever. But even when she's trying to act tough, bro, it's almost like when Jussie Smollett was trying to be like, yeah, and I was like, motherfuckers, like, and nobody believed that motherfucker, bro.
We don't
like,
believe you.
no, it's the same shit here, bro. Like, she'll try to bark at you, but bro, she's so fucking soft and gentle, and like, ain't nobody believing that she doing shit. And that's one. But the second thing is, Diddy is literally 3 fucking times her size, bro. Like, there's absolutely no reason for this motherfucker to be putting hands on her, bro. And that's honestly the only reason why I'm so angry with him, bro. Because I witnessed that shit, and I carry crazy guilt that I didn't do anything to fucking stop him from doing that, even though I knew I could, and I could do it very fucking well. But bro, what do you do?
But here's the thing, like I get what you're saying, that she might have been like, you know, it can't really have been her. But now that I know the full extent of what she was doing, the person I thought I knew is not that person. So I totally believe she's full of crap. She's a liar. The image of the person she presented to me, now that I know all the things that was actually going on during that 8-year period, she's a complete liar. She's not the person I thought she was. She's not the honest, humble, just dope chick I thought she was. That was all an act. Because as you can hear, my man here got the same impression of her. So it's like she had a cookie cutter image she would put on for each one of us when we came in, and it would practically be the same
The
thing.
story was the same. The
It-
words
for
was
all
the
of us.
same.
That
But
is a massive manipulator, bro.
I
She-
will say this though, it still don't justify anybody.
Oh yeah,
putting hands on
absolutely.
her, bro.
He should
Like-
never have hit her.
Like,
He never. She did. I never saw her do anything to justify him putting his hands on her. Never. Even
there
if she-
is nothing, bro.
Even if she
There's
sassed
nothing.
him, there's no reason to hit no woman. None. He just couldn't control his emotions because he's a crackhead. With all due respect, dude is doing mad drugs. He's emotional from the up and down of the endorphins. So when she does something to provoke him, like us normal men might be like, yo, you know, my girl bugging, whatever. First thing he think is go snatch her up because he already charged up from the drugs. You know what I'm saying? But she just as guilty. If you can manipulate 30-something men into thinking they was the only one, but they wasn't the only one, you need to be in jail, shorty. Like, what are these people doing trying to build your victimhood on the backs of me and people like him who don't know about the other 28 people you sleeping with on a regular basis? How are we the nasty whores when this girl was lying to 30 different men, having unprotected sex with them, catching STDs, lying to all of them? What is this?
Yo, Art, let me just piggyback off of that real quick, bro. You know, here's the thing, man. Everybody's going to sit back and say, oh, these guys had options and choices and so on and so forth. But the truth of the matter is this, man. You know, you can't refute whether or not Cassie was complicit in the regard that there were only 2 people that knew the full extent of what was going on here. I have had enough conversations, and this is why I'm so pissed off with her now, bro. I fucking reached out to help her when she had her lawsuit, bro, because I was like, yo, this is a chance at least for me to try to do something right.
Yes.
I did not want to be involved in the criminal aspect of this because I don't know enough about any of that shit. and then I only witnessed domestic violence. So I'm sitting here like, yo, don't involve me in this. I had to be subpoenaed. But the bottom line is there was only 2 people that knew about every single part of this whole entire operation. And why do you think it is that they needed to tell every single one of us, you're the only one that we're doing this with? There are no other guys like that. I'm being safe. You have no worries. You can trust this. I'm going to give you my test results, but you can trust that I'm clean. I'm safe. You know, you have nothing to worry about. And then with all the deep conversations that I'm speaking for myself that I personally had with Cassie, and all, yo, we cool. We so cool. You so cool. You're a vibe. All of this shit. Why not tell me that I'm literally fucking risking my life, sticking my dick in the cesspool because you got 50 other fucking guys?
That's a nice word too, cesspool.
And she knew that. She knew. See, for me, I know that even the prosecutors is gonna be like, yo, this dude is doing a straight 180 right now. Like, he was so like, I'm so happy to help her. I really want to help her. It's true. They didn't tell me that there was 50 other fucking guys that was involved with this woman at the same time, bro. Mm-hmm. I was told the entire time that I'm the only guy. The only guy.
He's telling the truth. Yes, he is.
Why do that? Yo, if you just was like off the rip, yo, this is something we do. We could share STD results all day long or whatever. You have the option to do this at your own accord, at your own risk. That's one thing, bro. But they fucking lied. And I'm sitting here thinking, yo, this is just a couple that has unlimited resources that, you know, they want to involve me in this interesting, you know, situation part of their lives that I don't know anything about it, but okay, it's fun. These are some mega superstars, right? Yeah, okay, I'll fuck with this for a little bit, but I would not have done that had I known the amount of fucking guys that this woman was involved with. That shit is dead wrong, bro. And she knew all the guys that she was involved with.
And you know what's funny? I was listening to him talk, and that's the first time I heard that she called him after I won that freak off and told him that the other guy was gone, which showed you the masterful manipulation of this woman. She pays me like $8,000 thinking that I won this competition.
He still think he won. He keep on, yo, when I won this competition, this motherfucker, I'm sitting here like, what did you win?
You know what I won on? I won an STD from
chlamydia, motherfucker. I will not take that consolation prize, bro. Yo, my dude. My God, bro. That shit is funny, man. Oh, man.
Yo, bro. Yo, as the law student, the person, I think I was talking to you about this. Cassie is complicit in a multi-year sex trafficking conspiracy. And the U.S. Attorney's Office allowed her to get away with it to destroy Diddy. They knew she was lying. They verified the fact that she forced herself on me on her menstrual cycle. They knew about Daniel. They knew about the Punisher. They knew about me. They knew she called the Punisher. They called my man the Punisher, but he went to see her one day. He couldn't get the job done. She called me to come finish off the job. This is a girl who had a massive conspiracy and networks of male providers, because everyone wasn't an escort, providers of her, that she was making everyone think that they were the only one, and she's manipulating us into sex. In order to have a RICO, bro, you have to have 2 predicate acts, and it has to be a continuing criminal enterprise violating the law. She's guilty of human trafficking, and she's guilty of commercial sex act. That's 2 of the predicate acts. That's the same thing they tried to catch Diddy with. How is Cassie able to get on the stand, lie about being urinated in her face, which I'll let this guy tell you about in a second, and get up there and play a victim, lie on me, say that Diddy made her have sex with me after she overdosed? The U.S. Attorney's Office knows she's lying, but they purposely hold me back from the trial because they know I wrote a book about her, and then they only ask him specific questions because they know that the defense doesn't know how to come at him. And that's how it works in a federal trial. You can only answer the questions that the defense or the prosecutors ask you. You can't elaborate. So if they say, well, do you think she was involved? All you can say is, yes, I think she was involved. You can't tell him like he's telling you now about the history. So yes, I believe, and this is what I'm seriously investigating, is that there should be a massive RICO civil case filed against Diddy and Cassie, because that was the real Rico. The real Rico was not Cassie and Jane. The real Rico was Diddy as a co-conspirator, Cassie as a co-conspirator, Jane as a co-conspirator, and myself and Daniel were the damn victims. In every sex trafficking case you read in the federal courts, the victims are the prostitutes. The dope-head white girls, forgive me, beautiful white women out there, Hispanic women, Haitian women, whatever you are. You're selling box, you're traveling across state lines, pimps are giving you drugs. These girls are, a lot of times they be with this stuff, going cross line with pimps and stuff. It's fun. They going to Vegas, they going to Miami, they selling cat, they going on the beach all day. We didn't know Cassie was doing this. So how is there not a massive Rico conspiracy against the three of us, with us, the male escorts, as the victims? I totally believe that's the case, and that's what I'm pursuing.
Yo, Art. Also, they keep asking me. People keep asking me, do you think that she was complicit in this? As I continued reviewing, remembering more and more shit, that's what happens when you start testifying, with HSI and the attorneys and stuff. You just remember more and more shit starts coming to you, because you got to remember, this happened 10, plus years ago. I had a moment where I was with a model woman, a friend of mine, and we were staying at the Downtown Dream Hotel, and it was I believe it was a Victoria's Secret party that was going on, that Cassie told me. But I run into Cassie on the street. She got two white girls that are out there with her. They're outside the Dream Hotel smoking cigarettes and whatnot. Cassie don't say nothing to me. I don't say anything to her, right? And she sees me. She gives me this look, like, that look, like, yo, why, like, this dude is walking past with another chick, like, bad like me, like that kind of look, that jealousy look. So I brush it off. My friend is like, yo, why did she just look at me like that? My friend has no idea that I'm like, So I explain it to her when we get to the hotel room. Bro, maybe like 30 minutes to us being in that hotel room, I get a call from Cassie. And she's like, yo, are you available? I know you with your friend, but can you come and meet me? I want to see you. Diddy was nowhere around when I ran into her in front of that hotel. How do you explain that?
She went and told him she saw you.
How do you explain that? If she did not want to be having sex with me, explain that, please. And the prosecutors know about this. They put the timeline together. They have all the evidence. They already verified all of this.
Diddy got, I hate to say it, because I don't really care to say it no more, because I've been attacked enough on social media for having I want to say, balls to come out and sue her. But as wrong as Diddy is, as much criminality as he actually committed, he's a victim. He's a victim of malicious prosecution. The U.S. Attorney's Office, they explicitly held information back that exposed Cassie to be a co-conspirator. And that's wrong. Even if he was wrong, they could have gave Cassie immunity. She had immunity anyway. And she could have just told the truth. But to get up there and lie like that, knowing that myself, I had an 8-year history there, he was 4 or 5 years, the Punisher was 4 or 5 years. You have all this years of contact with these individual men who are clearly intelligent. None of us are drug addicts. Most of us have kids and have our lives together. This was a decade ago. Why would you expect us to lie for you? This was the stupidest thing the U.S. Attorney's Office could do, with no disrespect to them, because I don't need federal prosecutors as enemies yet. But Maureen Comey knew all of this. Maureen Comey literally stopped me from testifying 3 days before the trial because of the book I wrote about Cassie, Victim or Co-Conspirator. She tells me she doesn't want me to feel uncomfortable. She knows this is hard for me. Excuse me? What are you talking about? Allegedly, this girl is saying that he made her have sex with 50 guys, and you're still putting her on the stand. You don't want to put me on the stand because you know what I'm going to say about her. That's why. And bro, they scrapped me from the trial 3 days before the trial. That's why I got scrapped, because of my book, and they knew I was going to bomb Cassie, and I was telling the truth.
What's interesting is that I still have grace for her, though.
Yeah,
I still
Maureen?
no. I'm talking about Cassie.
Yeah.
Like, for me, I have come to that consensus that, yo, bro, she was complicit. But I think back to all of the testimony that I gave and stuff, and it's like, I guess there's a healthy fear in me that, what if I'm wrong? But then I start asking myself, thinking further and deeper into the like, that would happen, like what I explained to you in front of the Dream Hotel. And it's like, how the fuck can I possibly be wrong? How can you explain that Diddy was nowhere around to force her into doing this freak off? She saw me with another model, and all of a sudden, looked like she got jealous, and then all of a sudden, I'm being contacted to go meet her.
Yo, bro, she did the same thing to me. I told you when she called me, she flew me out to Beverly Hills. It was my anniversary with my chick. This is my woman. I've been with her for years. Cassie knew I had a girlfriend. She calls me up, yo, you want to come see me in LA? It's my anniversary. I can't. I want to come see you. It's a bag. Of course I want to go. I said, let me come tomorrow. Let me at least spend today with my girl. What? You trying to dead me for some basic bitch? She gets mad, starts trying to clown my girlfriend. This is my actual woman, the woman that I'm talking to her about that I'm in love with. Yes, okay, I'm sleeping with Cassie. Cassie's paying me for what I'm giving my girlfriend for free. Like, I used to go sleep with Cassie, go home and have sex with my girlfriend for like another day because I would sleep with Cassie so long I would never ejaculate. So I'm going home because the woman I love, she does it for me. Cassie don't do it for me. Cassie gets so mad, she starts threatening me. Diddy finally is the one who tells me, like, yo, she mad. If you don't come, you agreed to be her only guy. Because they actually set me down, made me show them results, and told me I was going to be the only guy, and that I had to show them results every month. I saw them, and she was going to show me her results, and me and her were going to have sex to satisfy her need while Diddy watched. And we had a great relationship for years. I felt like we kind of became friends in the room. You know, you be with people doing all this stuff for years. She and I are spending hours talking on the couch. I'm holding his girl like she mine while he over in the corner smoking weed. This is the environment which Daniel will confirm.
That's the illusion, bro.
That's the illusion. He went through the same thing. She's laying on his lap. He's cradling her. She's making him think that he actually matters and he means something. The truth is, no, she waiting for you to finish to call in 3 more guys. That's wrong, bro. And the fact that the government let her get away with this disgusting lie, how are we supposed to believe in our own justice system, bro? This is what they're doing to rich black men. They're trying to turn something that we normally do. Any wealthy man, even white men do this. We see beautiful women, you got money, you might talk to her, they fly to come see them. You're not giving her money, paying for her like a prostitute. You just want to take care of her because you like her. Now you're going to turn that into sex trafficking cases against every successful man on the planet? The best thing that ever happened for law enforcement and for the entertainment industry is Diddy beating that Rico. If they had convicted Diddy for that Rico, there would have been about 40 other CEOs in the hip hop industry on trial. Because tell yourself the truth. Who hasn't flown a girl out with money? We all did it. I did it at one point in my life. I'm not gonna lie. I flew a girl from California 2 decades ago. Yo, you bad. Come see me. Blah, blah, blah. We all do it. We're not paying these girls like prostitutes. You a man. You like her. You want to take care of her. You want to show her you could take care of her.
Hell,
So
bro,
you-
with these modern chicks, bro, like that shit's a requirement a lot of the times, bro.
That's a
Like,
prerequisite,
You
bro.
know what I'm
That's a
saying?
prerequisite.
Like, yo, we gotta have a first date in another state, bro. Like,
You taking me to Applebee's? I ain't going to Applebee's.
where we going to
Stuff like
Miami, bitch. Like, what you
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah. So you know that's
That's
the
funny, man.
situation, and that's wrong. Like this situation has truly disgusted me of the American judicial system. How Me Too is fake, and I'll say that publicly. Me Too is fake. Me Too is a tool used by women and powerful people to destroy other powerful people. Because now I've come out. My lawsuit came out against Cassie. 2 months ago? Her attorney has
Yeah,
been
2 months.
about 2 months ago.
Yep.
Yo, what about our Me Too though? Because I feel low.
I'm getting that.
I feel low down like a dumbass though, bro. Because I done went into some of these hotels and saw like what looked like used as towels all over the floor. The couch is already doused in baby oil.
Fingerprints on the table.
Astro Glide is this low and shit. And my dumb ass was dumb enough, bro, to literally be like, yo, nah, that they was just getting a freak on before I got here, and I came a little late. Nah, motherfucker, it's Me Too because it was me, and then that other guy too, and then that other guy too, and then that other guy too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, bro, like, yeah, I don't know, man. Like this shit is wild, bro. It's wild. It's highly embarrassing.
Highly embarrassing.
It blew up a lot of our lives, bro. I was deep in my profession. I own a construction company. Started losing contracts left and right. This shit wasn't fun. And, I haven't heard from the fucking prosecution team at all.
Yo,
I haven't heard from anybody, bro.
I ain't heard from them people since that day I told you that they didn't want me to go through the trauma of testifying. They so foul, they told me, you know something, Mr. Howard, we gonna call you in next Thursday for witness prep. Next Thursday, I'm still waiting for next Thursday. Next Thursday might be 3 days from now. You dig what I'm saying, homie? They never called me back after she read the chapters of that book. Come on, how you do that? You don't check to make sure we okay. You don't check to make sure how we are dealing with the media, considering the media is calling us the, excuse my language, that Cassie actually is. We're receiving the brunt of the disgusting treatment, being nasty, being dirty, ill. These guys were nasty. The truth is, she's the nasty one. I didn't know he was still sleeping with her. He didn't know I was still sleeping with her. Neither one of us knew the Punisher. I didn't know the damn Punisher at all. I didn't know the other guys, none of this. So how are we the ones being disrespected, being attacked? And this girl got $30 million, and Me Too won't attack her for all the men she manipulated. But they'll attack Diddy for beating a woman. But they won't attack this woman for manipulating dozens of men in the sexual encounters. And every one of us has said we don't think Cassie was forced to do this. Yes, she was beat. But none of us saw her in a position where Diddy was like, yo, you better suck that dick, I'm gonna punch you in your head. Yo, why you acting like you don't want to do this? Get your ass in the room, and making her do it. Never saw that. Did you?
Yo, did he ever say in front of you, yo, y'all need like if you playing around with Cassie too much or whatever, he's like, yo, y'all need to stop playing around. Y'all professionals, man.
Yes, he
like,
did.
yo, he ever say that
Yes,
shit
he
to you? But he use that word like y'all need to stop. Y'all are professionals. Yo, bro, almost every word verbatim, bro, that I have heard in these situations, man. Like, we started talking like a week ago, bro. Like, maybe 2 weeks ago, man. And we talk every day now. And we're just coming back with, oh, shit. And when I start, going over my situation, he's like, bro, yo, and he'll stop me dead in the middle of my sentence. You about to say this. And I'm like, how the fuck you know that? And after a while, we just knew how we know that. It's like a script that was written out, man. Like they selling a product and they reading a script. The words are the same, the situation's the same, the setup is the same. Everything's the same, bro. Everything is the same.
Now, Art, hearing this from him and hearing this from me, you're not an attorney. You don't think these damn prosecutors realized that Cassie was lying?
Oh, they know she lying, bro. They know.
They knew she was lying, bro.
Yeah, they know. They definitely know. And I get why you ain't beat up Diddy. Because, I mean, he took a picture of your ID. So he knew your address. So if you would have did anything to him, I mean, they could have went left, man.
Bro, Diddy knew what it was, too. Because he used to try to get me to be their personal trainer. And he used to ask me, yo, what do you eat, bro? Like, yo, you a big motherfucker. Like, you a monster, bro. And he knew that I was fighting and shit. So he's like, yeah, yo, bro, you could train me, man. Like, you could train me. But he was on some bullshit. Like, he wasn't really serious about it back then, man. Like, he had a fat ass gut and like, he was completely out of shape, bro. Yeah. So, I used to actually push him, but he knew what it was, bro. Yeah. He knew what it was. And I'm going to keep it a buck with you, Art. Like, I can be incredibly violent, bro. Like, I mean, I don't want to incriminate myself, but I've been in situations since this where I have seen men beating the shit or getting too hostile with women. And yo, bro, this serious. I have a trauma effect happening here because I have literally broken guys' faces, bro, after this. Like, completely tore guys apart in the street, being filmed, the whole nine. One of the videos, bro, had over 200 million fucking views, but thank God you couldn't see my face in it, bro. I get busy, bro. I have a literal like gorilla that lives inside of me, bro. and like when I get to a point where it's like rage to the point where I'm seeing red, like it's over. But the thing is, I'm 41 now, and my saner mind is more the direction that I had.
Wisdom.
I've gained that wisdom, brother.
Wisdom.
I have stopped doing that, but I mean, the one thing that I can't see, man, and I'm working on this still, is men putting their hands on women, bro.
You should work on that. You're never gonna be able
I gotta stop that. I have to stop, bro, because I'm gonna end up. But the thing is, that is an effect of this shit, bro. The guilt that I was carrying. And honestly, I feel kind of like a weight has been lifted off of my shoulders a little bit with that, because now I truly understand what it is, bro. And even if I did go in there and help her and got my ass handed to me or got killed, who you think she was gonna side with? Nigga? Like,
Him.
what the like, I would have did that shit for nothing, bro.
Him.
Straight up for nothing, because she knew what was happening here the whole time. Wasn't it her that was like, yo, if I leave him, where am I go? Jay-Z's already taken.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did say that.
Bro,
Yes, she did.
she was consciously making the choice to stay,
By manipulating us to please him.
but also consciously making the choice to get us to believe that this was okay and that she was fine and that this doesn't happen all the time. Nah, bro.
Yeah, I feel you, man. And speaking of videos, did they ever record you or no?
Yeah, man.
Yo, you was in the videos too?
Yo, bro, like 10 of them shits, bro. That shit was terrible, man. That was the one thing that used to give me anxiety like crazy. Now Channing Tatum then came out and was like, hey, I was slinging penis back in the day. He did a whole movie about it. Now everybody's okay, basically. Just, you know, but when you go into a profession where you have to sit down at tables with politicians and you're in the room with mayors and so on and so forth, because I work with real estate developers, bro. Yeah. And like building buildings around, you know, the city, so on and so forth, big shit. And we're constantly around politicians and constantly around famous people and constantly around notable people. And once, like that bullshit sketch of me, man, yeah, the prosecutors tried so hard to be like, yo, you don't got to worry about it. They're so bad at this. No one's ever going to know it was you, man. Every body I got calls from people I ain't know 15 years, haven't heard from for 15 years. Yo, I got you, bro. I got your back, bro. And I'm like, for what? Like, what are you talking about? First off, I'm a guy that was, you know, in a situation that you definitely wanted to be in. That's
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Every male hating on us wanted to be in our situation. I'm glad you said that.
But second of all, though, bro, like I ain't hear from your ass in 15 years, bitch. Like, why you talking to me right now, bro? What I'm gonna get from you? What you gonna do? But this is how it is, man. And that is exactly how all of the professionals took it as well. They took it as, we all know it's you. And we all have to make a choice whether or not we gonna fuck with you or not. And when it comes down to contracts that are for millions of dollars, ain't nobody fucking with you.
You're gonna make them look bad, bro.
First off, you already an anomaly. Yeah. You already somebody trying to become a real estate developer as a black man in a city like New York City, bro. That shit doesn't even really exist like that, bro. They got 2 people at the top and the rest is everybody trying to break into the business, basically. So, you know, I'm easy to replace. I'm nobody, bro. This shit destroyed my life, bro. This shit destroyed my life, Art. Or at least the attempt was made. But I ain't built that way, bro. So we finna keep this pushing.
Tell me about this red couch made out of mink.
Yo, yo, bro, dude, yo, this shit is crazy, bro. Yeah, I believe it's the 66th floor. The reason why I'm bringing this up, son, because like this shit was on some the devil's advocate shit, bro. I don't know. Have you ever been to Diddy's apartment on
I did.
56th Street, like across the street from Bad Boy?
Yeah, I just didn't sit on that couch, but I saw the Biggie posters, the 3 Biggie posters, right?
The Biggie, the Biggie posters with the crown to the side. Yo, dude, yo,
dope pictures.
All right. So look, bro, he invites me over to his joint, bro. And this place, I believe it literally was on the 66th floor, bro, like on some straight up satanic shit, dude. But we get into the goddamn apartment, and there's 2 living rooms in this apartment. It's split like by like a sliding, dividing door or whatever, right? And in the main living room, he got like 115-inch TV built into a wall and shit. And like, yeah, you said it's
crazy, that TV, yeah.
Yo, Art. And then in the secondary goddamn living room, bro, is a mink fucking couch, bro. This shit is the biggest, like, you know, them L-shaped sectionals. This shit went around the whole fucking living room, bro. This couch was at least $1 million. I guarantee it, bro. And this man had me busting Cassie's ass on that goddamn mink couch, dousing that couch with baby oil, fucking nut juice, all that. Yo, dude, this shit is crazy, bro. I literally was sitting there thinking the whole time, yo, if I could just take a razor, bro, and cut a section of this bitch off the back that nobody would see, I would make so much money, bro. Just selling it just like that to a goddamn fashion supplier, bro. This couch was dead ass made out of mink, bro. That's when I knew I was dealing with people on a whole nother level, bro, because half the time that I would go to see them, bro, I was broke as shit, dude. And I'm sitting there like, oh, thank God I'm getting this
Felt
call.
like a life-saving call.
Yeah, dude, like, even though I never asked them for money, they usually bless me with thousands, bro, after this encounter. So I'm sitting here like, yo, there's a good chance I'm going to make some money. This is great. And that one right there made me feel like a fucking loser, bro. I'm sitting here like, damn, bro. Like, I'm over here with fucking $30 to my name, bro. This motherfucker's got nut juice on $1 million mink couch, bro. Like, yeah, I knew I had to make some changes in my life after that one, bro. I ain't never seen no shit like that, bro. That was crazy.
Skeeting nut juice on the couch saying, take that, take that.
Nah, there was no take that, take that. Nah, son.
I took you to the couch,
I was about to say
bro.
that was the next party, bro.
He did that to me. Yeah,
he said,
definitely
nah, shut up, bro.
Yeah, he did.
He actually said, take that to you.
To Cassie, I was like, not me. What the hell could I be taking?
Yeah,
but
bro,
I'm smashing him out. And he's like, yeah, bitch, you like that? Yeah, take that.
Yo,
I
that
broke
shit
out
is
laughing
funny,
in
bro.
the middle of free call. And she started laughing too. He smiled a little bit. He let us laugh it out for a couple of seconds. And he was like, all right, get back to it.
Yo, Art, you know what's crazy, man? Like, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of backlash for saying this, but I mean, we here to be truthful, bro. Outside of this dude, that demon that lives inside of this motherfucker, bro, when he's being a spaz, this dude is one of the coolest fucking guys, bro. That, like, I'm talking like, especially when you like idolize this man growing up and to actually be in his presence, bro. It takes 5 seconds, bro, before all of that fucking huge fame, celebrity shit just goes away, and you feel like you just shooting the shit with the homie on the corner, bro. Just chilling, bro. He just inquisitive about, yo, what you got going on in your life, yo. That's dope, bro. Yeah, I remember when I was like, yo, you know, y'all fucking age and like your age or whatever. Like, that's how he is, bro. He literally just sit there talking to you and shit. So it's just weird, like when I hear shit like that, and it's like it's a polarizing effect that you have that is crazy, because on one hand you like, God damn it, I wanted to kill this guy. I was so angry at this guy. I'm still fucking pissed at this guy. But on the other hand, it's like, yo, if you could just remove that part of this guy, this dude is a cool ass dude, bro. Did this nigga bail you out of jail, son?
Yo, did he bail me out of jail, bro?
Bro.
Did he bail me out of jail? Yeah, he probably, I think it was maybe the last year my mother was alive, maybe a year or two before she passed. Bro, I'm leaving a freak off with them. Thanksgiving Eve. I spent all night tearing Cassie apart. So now I'm in construction too in Manhattan. So I got to go uptown to work. Had a fucking taillight out, bro. NYPD pulled me over, run me through the system. By the time I get before a judge for a damn taillight, they give me like a $6,000, $5,000 bail, something like that. This is 11 o'clock at night. The banks is closed. I can't take $5,000 off my card. So pretty much it looks like I'm going to be spending Thanksgiving in jail. I talked to my mother I remember this. I called her up. I'm like, yeah, Mom, sorry, I'm not going to make it to Thanksgiving. She was so disappointed, yo. She's like, oh, come on, Clay, you serious? I said, yeah, Mom, sorry. So, you know, she sat on the phone, me and her talking. She said, yo, your phone has been going crazy. This guy named Mr. Sean keeps calling you. Oh, that's Diddy. I said, Ma, call that number back. She said, why? I said, Ma, call the number back. Tell him that I got arrested leaving him this morning. Tell him you need $5,000 to bail me out of jail and you need it tonight because you want me home for Thanksgiving. Call him right now and call him. She says, Clayton, why would this guy give you $5,000? I said, Ma, trust me. Call him. Tell him you my mother. Tell him that I was with him this morning. We was working out. And when I left him,
He was working out.
I said, left him. 'Cause my mother was a minister, honestly. My mother was a minister for 30 years. You know what I'm saying? So it would have, I don't want to say God, you know, I'm thankful that she's dead, but the embarrassment of this, it would have been a lot for her. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of glad this came out after she was gone. But basically, Diddy bails me out. She meets him in Manhattan. He goes and he gives her the money. He comes out of the London hotel. He gives my mother the $5,000. Next morning, I call her. I think I was in I might have been on Rikers Island. No, I was in Brooklyn. No, I was in Manhattan. I was in the Tombs. So next morning, I called her from the Tombs, and she was like, "Yo, how the hell do you know Puff Daddy?" And I said, "What, Ma?" She said, "Don't what me, boy. How the hell do you know Puff Daddy? How is it that you got Puff Daddy to come out of that had to be a luxury hotel, Clayton, and give me $5,000 cash? How the hell do you know Puff Daddy?" I said, "Ma, this ain't the best time in jail on a paid call. Did you pay my bail?" She said, "I'm on the way to pay it right now." I said, "Pay the bill. We'll talk about it when I get home." She said, "No, you're going to tell me how you know this man." So I spent the rest of the day in jail trying to come up with a creative enough lie to tell my minister mother that I wasn't Cassie's boy toy and Diddy was paying me to be a prostitute for his girlfriend, which was difficult because I didn't like lying to her like that. But he bailed me out, bro. Bailed me out. Told me I could keep it. Flew me to Miami a week later. He's so high on Molly, Diddy pressed me for the $5,000. Which is hilarious that I got pressed by Diddy for 5 bands, bro. He walks up to me as soon as he opens the door of the suite when I go see him, and like I'm walking in the room. So as soon as I'm turning around to greet him, he like right in my face, like, "Yo, what's up with my money?" I said, "Whoa, champ, didn't you tell me I could keep it?" He said, "Oh shit, I did. I told you could keep it. You right?" I said, "Damn, bro, Diddy you just pressed me for 5 bands?" I broke out laughing, bro. He said, "Yeah, that shit is kind of funny, isn't it?" I said, "Yo, bro, Diddy just pressed me for $5,000. I'm never gonna forget
Yo, this
shit."
dude stay fighting with Diddy, bro. When I first met this dude, he was fighting with Diddy, bro.
We was
That
gonna
shit
get
is
it.
hilarious.
We was gonna get it. Me and Diddy was gonna fight. Yeah.
Yo, bro, dude was on a couch, bro, and he didn't know who Diddy. He ain't know because Diddy had the ski mask on with the hat and shit. And Diddy, yo, sorry to set it up like this, but Cassie is on all fours. Diddy's getting a fucking blowjob by her. Clayton's tearing it up from the back. I'm sitting on the other fucking couch feeling like I want to cry. And this fucking guy is literally like staring at Diddy's face, bro. And Diddy stops in the middle, bro, of them tearing her up. And he's like, "Yo, motherfucker, if you keep looking at my face, I'm gonna fuck your motherfucking ass up, son." And I was like, "Yo, Cassie, yo, dude, I swear, you ever seen one of those moments of those David Blaine shows where the magician goes from this location?" She was on some Dragon Ball Z shit, bro. I never seen a human move that fast across the room. Bro, it was insane, dude. She teleported from the couch to the other side, bro. And Clayton was like, "Yo, I ain't even fucking looking at you. I ain't even fucking looking at you, bro." And so, yeah, that shit was funny. Diddy was like, "All right, man, I'm just making sure, bro. All right, let's have a good time now. We here to have a good time." And Cassie was like, "Y'all sure y'all good?" She was terrified. "Y'all sure y'all good?"
Because of my response.
Yeah.
I said, "Motherfucker, I ain't looking at you." And he backed all the way down. And he was like, you know what, we good." He looking at me like, "You crazy." So when they went in the room, he said, "Nigga, you out your damn mind? You know who that is?" I said, "I don't give a fuck who that is. Fuck him." He said, "Bro, you don't know who that is, do you? You are out of your damn mind, bro. Shut up. You don't know who that is?"
Yeah.
So
you remember me telling? I was like, "Yo, bro, you need to shut up."
He said,
bro.
"You need to shut up."
You need to shut the fuck up.
You need to shut up now. Shut up, bro. Shut up. And I'm like, "Yo,
I remember that shit, bro.
I'm not that guy. I'm trying to, I'm being from New York. I'm thinking he's a regular guy." So when me and him got cool, I'm a fast forward. We got cool. We met up like a week, 2 later.
Yo, son,
he's
this
telling
shit's
me in
funny,
Lucky
bro.
Strikes, he's like, "Yo, bro, you didn't know that was Diddy?" I said, "Get the fuck out of here. That ain't Diddy." They break out laughing at me. He's like, "Yo, I can't believe you don't know that's Diddy. You don't see the tattoo?" And he starts going through the things. And I said, "Oh, that is Diddy." And that's when I found out it was Diddy.
Yo, everybody keep asking me like, how we ended up hanging out outside of that joint, bro. You tell it as I was like, "Yo, let's get together." And I probably was. I was like, "Yo, this dude is cool as shit."
Let's get up.
Yo, Art, this dude thought I was trying to set him up, right? And he invites his mans to come in. He's like, "Yo, I need you to come with me real quick," and shit like that. But I was under the assumption that he might try to set me up. So I brought my mans with me, bro. But yo, dude,
here's the homie.
I'm gonna let him tell you, dude.
Yo, this motherfucker's homie was built like a mutant ninja, a super ninja turtle with all of that. Like, okay, you're older. So you seen the episode of the Ninja Turtles where they was feeding them that stuff and they became huge and rocky?
Yo, bro.
Yo, this man was like 6'7". This dude had to be like 200.
Nah, he's a 7-footer, bro.
He was huge,
Yo,
bro.
my man Sam is a 7-footer.
My man looked at him. He said, "Bro, what the fuck I'm supposed to do with this guy, man?" He said, yo, we got to shoot this dude, and we might have to shoot him twice. He's like, look how big this motherfucker is. I said, bro, don't bitch up on me now. He said, yo, Clay, I can't even help you, bro. I said, yeah, they cool. He said, yo, bro, if they not cool, I can't help you.
Bro,
See
that
how
shit
big
is
that other
funny as hell,
motherfucker is?
bro. Yo, dude, that shit is hilarious,
shit was
bro.
hilarious.
My man Sam is massive, big ass Haitian
Huge
dude,
Haitian,
like
huge.
crazy dude, bro.
He looked like a
dreads, like yeah, nah,
He
that
looked like a palm tree, bro. That's how tall the motherfucker was. When his head was like this, every time I was like, and I'm looking up at him, I'm 6'2", I'm like, oh, shit, this guy's big. Word, bro.
yeah,
Word.
bro. I felt comfortable after that one, man. I was like, all right, yeah, we good. Oh man,
The drawer full of money. Tell me about that.
yo, bro. Yo, I don't know if this ever happened to you, bro. I went to, I think it was the Essex house, bro, the Jeremiah Essex house again, bro, and they tried to set me up, bro. I'm absolutely convinced that they was trying to set me up. I come into the hotel. Cassie's like, okay, yo, we're gonna be in the bedroom today. So she walks me into the bedroom, and she's like, yeah, just take your clothes off, whatever, and just wait. We'll be right back, dude. I sit on the bed, bro, and I look straight over to the nightstand, and there's like a crazy beautiful fucking gold Rolex on the top of the nightstand, and a drawer with I'm talking a drawer, bro, that's like this big, bro. Like the shit is like full of $100 bills. I'm talking that shit had to be at least 200,000, 300,000, and $100 bills just in the fucking drawer right there, bro. And they left me in that room alone with that shit. I was like, hell no, bro. I don't steal anyway, bro. But like, I was like, damn, bro.
Setup.
Boy, woo. That shit, I ain't gonna lie, boy.
Tempting.
That was definitely like being in a room as a 14-year-old boy with a naked girl, but I was like,
And they used to do stuff like that, or they would like put little stuff out to test you. Like, it was a few times I remember I would be with Cassie, and she would take like the Rolexes and put them on and be looking at me in the mirror, kind of like ways to entice you. Like, yeah, I got that money. One time I seen him at her house on West End, and they put me, same thing with him, same situation. They put me in this bedroom, yo, bro. This drawer had to be stacked with nothing but hundo stacks this thick with the bank tape around it. It had to be $200,000-$300,000 in this drawer. And the same thing, watch on the table, because I believe the watch was put where the money was to draw your attention because the watch is shiny. You're naturally going to be drawn to something that's, oh, that's a watch? Oh, that's a nice watch. And then you see the money. Everybody recognize the color of money. Money's going to draw your attention after the watch. What the Oh my God, is that a whole drawer full of hundo stack bills? I'm sitting there up. They left me in this room, no lie, maybe 30 minutes.
yeah,
30 minutes in the room.
Yeah.
And I started reading. I said, yo, this is a trap. Why would you leave me in here this long? And y'all just they want me to steal this money, so they have the reason to violate me.
Yeah, they was.
I ain't touched
bro.
that shit, bro.
I on some serious shit, though. I definitely they was like, this dude ignorant now. Like they knew I ain't no shit that day, because I was so fascinated by that Rolex, bro. I picked that shit up when Diddy was there. I was like, bro, this is the most beautiful watch ever. It's so heavy, solid gold. I was like, this shit has to be like $100,000, bro. The look that this dude gave me, bro, to this day, so I just be like, damn, son. He was like, nah, nigga, that shit only like 20 bands, bro. What you talking about? I was like, damn.
Light
I was like, I need to not be talking in these situations no more, bro. I was like, I sound ignorant as motherfucker right now, so I was like, nah, this shit.
Crazy. How many times was both of y'all together around Cassie and Diddy?
Once for 2 days.
Once, but it lasted 2 days.
Yeah.
I see. So when y'all had that 2-day freak off, that's when you and Diddy almost had a fight.
Oh yeah, I think that was like before the end of the first day.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was that night. And he got tight. He was definitely, if he hadn't said what he said and Diddy went a couple steps further, I'd have stole him. But once I got aggressive with him, he backed down, because I was probably twice the size I am now. I was like, man, I ain't fucking looking at you. But the way I said it, Cassie like teleported to the opposite end of the room. Like, let me get the fuck out the way now. And it was nothing between me and him now. So either you gonna have to put out or shut up. And he was like, you know what? Nah, let's just keep it cool. And I said, yeah, all right, man, let's keep it cool. You know what I'm saying? So she comes back like, yo, you guys are like, everybody just relax. She's trying to be like, that's what I want to call Cassie. Cassie was
the mediator.
She was the mediator. She kept the peace and the tranquility of the room. Now, if you're supposed to be a victim and you're afraid, how are you managing our relationships with your man? You trying to keep all of us in the same space where we're calm, we're relaxed, so the sexual energy is still here, the situation is a vibe, but you a victim and you scared. I don't see that. I don't see how somebody that could be scared could be the life of the damn party. And she literally was the life of the party. Cassie was the life of the party. Diddy did not talk. I couldn't tell you what this man sounded like for the first year. He used to go, yeah, and always in the dark corner, like Daniel said, and you would hear the slushing of the baby oil in the Astro guy while he was jerking off. But my point of contact was Cassie. Every bad thing that happened to me, for the most part, other than the drugging, because he drugged me once too, was Cassie. So of course, if I sue her, my lawsuit's going to be based on her because she's the person who I had interactions with. She can claim Diddy made her do it. But there's a difference between her telling you this as someone who's never been in a freak off and me, the man who sexually satisfied her for 8 years. Baby, you're not going to tell me this man was making you squirt and spray up bed sheets with vaginal fluid and he was making you have sex. I'm not that dumb. I'm the man who made you squirt for 8 years. You ain't squirting scared, baby. We not dumb. So I think that's the biggest thing about this situation. The main point is, like, me and him coming together, other guys coming together to talk about this, is to expose the truth that the government hid, which is that Cassie was never a victim. Cassie, like Jane, were co-conspirating hoes who like to have sex with men. It's nothing wrong with that. She was young. She's dating a billionaire. This is the lifestyle she was living. It's nothing wrong with her being sexually promiscuous when she was young. What's wrong is her lying about it and destroying the lives of dozens of men to get revenge on her ex-boyfriend. That's what's wrong.
What do you think about people that keep on trying to say, though, that Cassie was taking all these drugs so that she could be into the freak offs?
Bro, the last 2 years I had sex with her, she didn't even do drugs. She didn't even do drugs. She was drinking. She might smoke a little bit of weed. Weed ain't altering your mood so you get all crazy like that. Weed is relaxing you. But after Diddy drugged me with the fake Molly, the Tunchi, I saw them maybe a month later and I directly approached him. I said, yo, homie, what the did you give me? He said, nah, don't worry about it. I'm not going to do that no more. I said, you're right, because this is BYOD now. And honestly, I don't even want to do this no more. I said, I don't think I need to have use no drugs with her. We've been sleeping together for years. I asked Cassie directly. I said, we good. You don't mind if I don't take that? She said, absolutely not. You know what? I'm not going to take it neither. Bro, for the next year and a half, 2 years, every time I saw her, I didn't take no Molly. I don't know if she had it before I came in. I can't speak on that. But I know I didn't take it. I know while I was there, she didn't take no drugs. We would smoke weed together. We would drink and not even drink excessively, bro. We just drinking like regular people chilling in the crib, drinking, making a drink when you want to drink. You drink some water every once in a while. You have another drink to keep the buzz from the alcohol going. Light shit, bro. But for her to say that she used those hard drugs all the time, bro, I was with her 3-4 days the last 2 years. The last 2 years I was with her the most, I say 2 days. She never did drugs in 2 days. She never popped no pills in front of me. And I was at the point where I was with them. They weren't going in the room, locking the door on me no more. I was with them that long. They would leave the door open and I could see them in the room. She's not taking no drugs. She's on a computer. Him and her are talking. He's taking phone calls. She's coming out to me. Come on, yo. Make it make sense, baby. Somebody had to see you do the things you claim. He ain't see it. I ain't see it. That typically means you're lying.
And I know you told me in the first interview that Diddy, he'll try to take your phone. Daniel, will he try to take yours or no?
Yo, I thought about you asking me this question. I gotta say, I think that this guy was a bit more wild than me. That's why they was doing that shit to him, bro. Like they seem to just trust me, man. They ain't expect me to do nothing. I didn't do anything. And let's keep it real, man. Like a lot of these situations, man, you know goddamn well they filming you, bro. You know how easy it is for them to set up have somebody set up a little camera situation, a camera in a plant, a camera in this, a camera, and they watching you, bro. I knew that yo, in between these man, I would sit down, I'll order food up and drinks and I'll sit on the couch and just chill. I will listen to music. And every time, I wouldn't even scroll through my phone. I'll put a song on loud enough that they could hear I'm listening to music. And I'll leave my phone off to the side on some shit. And I will literally be sitting there doing absolutely nothing. Like a Buddhist monk for hours, bro.
Waiting on them.
Just waiting for them to come back.
Yep.
Is it a time where you try to leave a freak off, but they made you stay?
Hell yeah. As a matter of fact, bro, I think probably like my third experience in, I was already starting to feel like, yo, this shit is getting played and whack and shit. And like, I don't think he had put his hands on her yet, but he started dictating already by this point. Yo, y'all need to slow down. Yo, Playboy, you got to back up and go sit over there, bro. Yo, you sit over there, you sit over there. Then he tried some weird shit. bro. One like, oh man, I'll never forget this. Me and Cassie both was like the most awkward people. He was like, yo, I want y'all to role play for me. I want y'all to act like y'all just met at an airport. I'm like, we naked standing in front of a fucking couch. Like,
How we
what
gonna
kind
do
of
that?
scene are you planning? Like what I'm like, what kind of scene are you trying to like create here, bro? We already naked in front of the couch, bro. Like, what are you talking about? But it was just weird, bro. And we were so bad at it, bro. We were so bad at that, bro. It just was. It was just awkward, bro. So you always wanted to leave, man. After a while, man, it just got to the point where I was hoping at first that it would transition into something else, where maybe he'll be like some of these other couples that'll be like, yo, I'm gonna leave y'all alone one day and let y'all do y'all thing, and we gonna film it, and or I'll be on the phone or something and out of the room, and y'all just do y'all own thing. I was hoping that it would have came to that level, and on some low key shit, hoping that I start working her, bro, to try to steal her from this dude, bro. Like, at one point, man, like shit, yo, I'm telling you, she's insanely like beautiful in person, man.
Yeah,
Like
really.
back then. I don't know so much what she looks like now in person, but back then, there's levels to this shit, bro. And
She was
she
up
was
there.
at the top
She
level,
was
bro.
up
She
there.
was up there, bro. So it's like as a guy, bro, you scheming, man. You sitting back like, yo, dude, I need to like, I would never slut my girl out like this. I could do her so much better,
Yeah,
but
I thought like
little do you know,
I did too. You know,
little did you know.
you know what killed it for me, bro, is when I walked into that room. Cause I'm gonna be honest, like that first year and a half out, 2 years I was sleeping with her before you, I actually thought I was special. I was not special, bro. When I walked into that bedroom and see him in front of her with penis in her face, I think she might have even been taking homie snapping it against her face when I walked in. Yo, bro, my heart, like the emoji went like this. Just like the emoji, my heart went like this, bro. I had to take a seat. I reached behind me for the chair that was behind me. I just sat down.
Yeah.
And I remember I was just like this. Diddy said, yo, you want something to drink? I said, yeah, I think I do. I got something to drink. And I was just sitting there for a while. Remember, I didn't join. And he was like, yo, what you gonna do? So now I got to do something. I was like, all right. And that's when I had to push it beside myself. I said, you know what? Shorty's just a tramp. She's just sleeping with mad people. So why don't you just go and do the job? Don't fuck up your bag because your emotions is involved. So I took the emotions out of it, turned my hat backwards, and I went to work.
You know what's crazy? When you was sitting there, bro, I remember you had already like took your clothes off, dog. You was sitting on the couch. I remember this. I'm gonna tell you why I remember this. Because this was the moment that I came to the realization that my heart was breaking, bro. Because I'm gonna tell you why, bro. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm sitting there, I'm getting it in, I'm doing my thing. I'm like, yeah, this motherfucker can't even fucking join us, bro. He can't even work. And he's getting the fuck out of here. And then all of a sudden, I hear Diddy turn around, son. I don't know if you remember this or not, but he was like, damn, yo, if I had dicks like y'all,
Oh,
bro,
yes.
what did he say? I'll never
Yo.
wear pants, bro. What did
The
you
man
remember
told
that
me,
shit, son? Yo,
the
dude.
man looked at me and this man said, yo,
Dog.
if I had dicks like y'all, I would never wear pants. We looked at
That
each
was
other.
the moment, bro, that I realized this motherfucker's not going anywhere, bro. And I was like, yo, this guy, man.
Yo, crazy art. He said that to both of us, bro.
My
Like,
heart just.
Wow. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
that shit sucked, bro.
Cassie's sitting there with penises in her hand. She might have been touching you at the time.
Yeah.
And I think I was sitting on the couch, but he telling us both of this. And Shorty's sitting there loving having two big black penises in the room. But you a victim. Nah, baby. No, I'm not co-signing that. Absolutely not.
I feel you. And I know you once told me that, Diddy, he came on to you before. So, Daniel, I want to ask you, did Diddy ever come on to you or no?
The gayest shit he ever said to me was what I just said to you. Yo, if I had dicks like y'all, son, I would never wear pants. And then he said some weird shit like y'all niggas is literally fucking hanging down at the floor. Like he said some shit like that, and I was like, yo.
He was a consummate penal complimenter. He was a consummate penal complimenter. He had no problem complimenting your penis, which is kind of gay. I'm gonna be honest. It's pretty much 100%
I mean, have
gay.
you ever complimented another man's
Never.
dick, bro?
I don't even want to look at another man's penis. I like looking at my penis. My penis is a work of art. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn about what nobody else's penis look like.
When did it get to a point where you didn't want to do the freak offs no more? You was turned off.
And the first day he hit her in front of me. And I was in turmoil, bro, because I felt like I never wanted to see either of them again. But at the same time, all of the conversations that you have with her, the softness in her mannerisms, and the softness in her personality, and even the softness in her touch, bro. Like it, all of it.
She is soft.
It's
She is soft.
Yo, but I'm just saying, all of it, the gentle nature of Cassie in these moments, I will say.
She smells so good. Too. She smells so good. Ooh.
God, man.
Her hair used to smell great, bro. Great.
But the
Ooh.
gentle nature of her, bro, makes you feel like a fucking dirtbag 10 times more, bro. You feel like, yo, why am I abandoning her? I have to go back. I have to check on her at least. I have to try to convince her to leave this situation. And so that's what I started doing. And they started realizing it, I guess, after a while, and started calling me less and less because my wasn't working, but I was showing up every time they called me. And that was just so that I could try to get a moment with her alone to check her, be like, yo, how are you? No, I'm serious. Like how are you for real? Like, I've seen it. Like you listen, I care about you. I want you to be okay. Please. Like, I used to have these conversations with her, and every time she used to just be like, I'm fine,
okay,
I'm fine. Please, and you don't have to worry about me. But thank you. You're a good friend. Thank you. All of that shit. But
all those lies.
After that first time, bro, I never wanted to go back.
And you was mad and jealous, right? When you had to share Cassie with Clayton and y'all had to do that competition to see who, will be the final guy she'll go with.
Yeah, I mean, I guess jealousy really was a bit of it too. I was more mad as bro. I was tight, bro. I was mad, bro.
was hostile.
I wanted to fight this dude.
He was hostile.
At
He was
first,
hostile. I
bro.
felt it.
I was like, yo, stop talking to me, bro. Like at first, like and he was cool, bro, and he was being cool about it. You got to realize, bro, we was two massive ass dudes, bro. Like I'm talking muscle bound motherfuckers, bro. Like and. Like, it would have been bad, bro, if the two of us would have actually bumped heads. It would have been like two goddamn grizzly bears going at it, f***ing that place up, bro.
I knew we was going. I said, nah, we mean this game.
Yeah, nah.
Neither one of us, we don't have a reason to really be hostile with each other. When I saw you with her, when I walked in the room, that's what I was thinking about all that time over there. Because I didn't like you. I was like, look at this motherfucker.
He liked me. I hated him.
I
hated him, bro. He ain't like me. I hated that. I despised the fucking, yo, bro.
It's okay.
But at the same time, when we took a break, and I think they ordered food for us, bro, and we actually started talking, I was like, yeah, that's when I came to the consensus that, like, yo, all right, man, this dude is cool, man.
I said, let's just get it over with.
Yeah.
Bro. We both see what it is now.
Yeah.
Let's just get it over with. Because I know I ain't special. You know you ain't special. So let's just get the hell out of here. He was like, all right. So we honestly tried to finish her off. We did. Yeah. But she kept coming back. Every time she would come, they would say, give us a couple of seconds. Yeah. We would think we was about to leave.
She was on that stuff.
Yo, she would come back out and was like, yo, I need some more. I need some more. I need some more. Literally, we are taking turns on her.
But let me make something clear, right? I know you had a moment where you actually, she overdosed with you.
Yes.
I want to make it 100% clear. I have never, there was one time that I saw her and it was obvious that she was like inebriated, f***ed up, drugged, like whatever. But I have never, ever, ever been in a situation with Cassie where I felt like she was actually on drugs or under like some hardcore influence where she was non-communicative or she was not aware of what was going on or anything like that. So yeah, I'm just making it clear that my experience was 100% different from his in that regard. She always seemed 100% aware and with it, like,
So how did the feds find out about you? How did they find out you was an escort?
Yeah, the short story is that I am a jackass. I'm a dumbass dude. How this came about is that I'm a dumbass, bro. Like, I literally thought that I was, doing the right thing now. I contacted Cassie's agent and was like, yo, when the lawsuit originally was announced, before the settlement. And I was like, listen, I was there, and I would like to help her because I truly do believe that she's brave for coming out, speaking her experience and going public with this. and I saw some pretty horrific shit myself, and I will definitely be willing to testify to that, right? Obviously, that didn't go anywhere. They didn't even need to meet me. I talked with her lawyers on the phone. They were so grateful that I was willing to help. And then I never heard from the motherfuckers again. But they conveniently passed my information off to Homeland Security. And, when this became criminal, then they reached out to me and was like, hey, we need you to come in and let us know your story. When you're in a situation like that, Art, you, especially when you don't know the law like that, that's fucking terrifying.
It is.
To get contacted by a government agency that goes after the biggest drug traffickers in the world, the biggest fucking, mafia bosses, cartel leaders, and they're contacting you directly on your phone, homie. That's a scary thing, bro. Especially when you start. The first question you start asking is, "Oh my God, did I do anything wrong? Am I in trouble?" So you comply. So I go and I talk with them, and months go by, and then all of a sudden, they tell me, "Hey, listen, you have to testify in this trial." And how it was explained to me was, and the reason why I was being subpoenaed to testify was, you were the witness of a horrific crime that took place against a person by another person, and we can't, in good faith, allow you to just walk off and not testify to what you saw and how that happened. You witnessed a crime, and it was a crime that actually had a person that was a victim. So they subpoenaed me and forced me to testify.
How was that like, you being in court? Did he in court, was he looking at you?
Yo, fam. Wait. I'm glad you asked me that question, dog, because, bro, I was in the courtroom, bro, and I was trying so hard to hide my face behind that screen, bro. I had the screen this high up on my, like, all you could see, and I could see that the sketch artist in the back of the courtroom, bro, she was getting so frustrated that she just gave up. And I don't know how the she got that goddamn good enough image of me that people that know me was able to put those together. She did that shit like that, bro. But the whole time I'm behind a screen like this, right? Big ass courtroom. And at the time when I started testifying, at the end of me testifying on my first day with the prosecutors, the judge says, all rise. He lets the jury leave the room. Diddy stands up, bro. And he's like staring at me, and he's like,
"Oh, he shook his head at you?"
Yo, bro, staring me up and down like this, and he's like, and I'm like, God, like, man, like, what the bro? But you know what I did? I just put my head down, started ignoring his ass, and like, I was just like, you know what? Whatever. Came back the next day, didn't look at him anymore, and by the time I did exit the courtroom and look in his direction, he had already gone past that whole trying to intimidate me. He knew I just ignored him and it didn't work, and he just let it go. But that shit is crazy, bro. Like, you see all of the fucking reporters and YouTubers and shit that you see all over the internet and shit. They all in that room. And I'm gonna tell you the craziest shit. Another reason I'm so happy you said that, man. First off, I'm gonna tell you two things. One, HSI had special agents that picked me up from my location. They picked me up in a fucking pickup truck with like construction shit on it, like, so people think it's a construction truck. They take me to a secondary location. They switch me into another truck on some Jason Bourne shit, bro, with big ass assault rifles inside of cases there, guys that don't crack a smile for shit. Like, it's crazy, bro. They drive up to the courthouse, and when you pull into the courthouse, we drive through the back. We don't go in where the press go. And so we drive in, they take us into the fucking garage, and then it's an elevator that takes us down like crazy far. You go down, drive into to the courthouse, is a turntable that turns the car around. agents, Marine Comey. This is the shit that everybody is like, they finally come and meet you. Yo, this shit is wild, bro. It's like, it's a hell of an experience. But the craziest shit of all to me, bro, was how goddamn fucking beautiful this man's kids are. How beautiful Diddy's daughters are. How look, I'm 41, bro. I'm not gonna sit here and act like these little fucking kids to not be like, yo, that's a handsome guy, bro. His son, Christian, bro, handsome ass guy, bro. You know what I mean? And it baffles me that this is the kind of fucking activity and behavior that this family has everything, bro. And you know, Christian, he ain't try to look like stare me down or anything. They were looking at me like I was a fucking zebra, like you know, like animal walking through the halls, because I had to pass them in the halls. But the girls, bro, oh man, dude, I actually felt fucking horrible, bro, because those girls, I can't speak to their innocence at all. I don't know who the fuck they are like that. I don't have any idea, but good Lord, man. The devastation that was in those girls' eyes, man. I felt another sense of guilt, bro. And I just wish that I didn't have to do that to them, you know? Because they walked out of the courthouse during my testimony, man. When I was testifying to, I guess people are saying that it was the part where I testified to peeing on Cassie.
Peeing in her mouth, allegedly, from what she
Which
said.
is bullshit. I never peed in her mouth or anything, bro. Like
Make sure you get
they
that, Art.
they kept asking me, bro. Like, will you pee on her? Like she wanted me to do it. I thought it was the weirdest shit ever. I never did no kinky ass shit like that. But I'm like, yo, look, if you're really into it, because how she described it is, I love the way that the warmth feels trickling down my breasts. That's how Cassie talks, bro.
Oh,
Like
and that's exactly what she said to me too, and I refused. But continue.
Oh, where? Yeah, like that. She's like, I love the way that the warmth feels trickling down my breasts and
my
it turns me
nipples.
on and my nipples while I play with myself. Like this, she talks like that's how she speaks, bro. It's funny, like, but anyhow. So I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Art. I'm like, okay, if that's what you really want, fine. I start taking a full-on piss on this girl, bro. She's like, oh, no, stop. I'm in the middle of taking a piss, bro. It's not so easy to stop. And she's like, that's not how you do it. You're supposed to let a little out at a time and a little out at a time. Like, I don't fucking know how this shit works, bro. It was weird. But I never pissed in her mouth, bro. I would have never pissed on her face, in her mouth, anything like that. I felt like a piece of shit doing it. It felt scumbaggish doing it, but she's the one that asked me to do it. So, I mean,
So the point is, if Cassie's story was reflecting of Daniel, she lied about getting urinated in her mouth. He didn't do it.
unless I'm not that guy that
Unless
she was
he's
talking
not
to.
the guy.
But Maureen in the courthouse did say during this trial, during her opening statement, you will hear from a guy that, you know, urinated. And I think she said in Cassie's mouth to the point
did.
where she was choking and, you know, she couldn't. Like, that's not true, bro. I'm here to tell you right now, I never peed in her mouth. And I was waiting for the other shoe to drop. I was waiting. Who's the guy that's going to come out to testify that they pissed in her mouth? Because I never did. I peed on her breasts and below.
Yeah.
Like it was really in her breast area. That was it.
So she lied about that. She lied about the overdose. Diddy made her have sex with me after an overdose. Art, my mother has been gone for about 5 years. I would swear on my mother that Diddy never made that girl have sex with me. She woke up after being high for 8 or 9 hours, completely rejuvenated. She was asleep. Meaning me and Diddy was up all night making sure she ain't died. We was tired. Cassie's like, no, babe, he saved my life. I need that D. Diddy wanted me to go home. This is not me speaking for this man. I am not in support of Diddy. I joined this trial because of Cassie's abuse. Like Daniel did, I joined to help Cassie because I knew the abuse was real. And I said, you know something? Dude used to treat this girl like shit. It's my karmic duty to help her if I know this is going on. So I reached out to help her. Bro, I'm finding out she's lying about all of this stuff that I, as the person who was involved, know is a lie. So I tell Maureen Comey, no, Maureen, that didn't happen like that. If you want to prosecute this guy, he's a bad guy, I get it. But we can't lie on him. That's not what justice is about. You want to do this, I got to tell the truth. I'm not going to take out the fact that this man did not make her have sex with me. But that's what they wanted you to do. They manipulated our truths to support her victimhood. They literally built Cassie's whole victimhood on the backs of people like me and him. The guys who actually got sex trafficked, who actually got manipulated, who actually got harmed by getting burned with chlamydia. You don't hear about none of that. All they want to do is tell you about Cassie's abuse and Cassie's domestic violence. Domestic violence ain't Rico.
Can I ask you a question too, real quick? So when you was testifying or interviewing with Maureen, right? Did you have like in your text messages and stuff like that that felt like really embarrassing, like you was being judged by any of the lawyers then?
You mean for text that she showed me, Maureen?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but-
oh God, bro.
Yo,
I had pictures, I had text messages where I was telling her my penis was chafed from beating off for hours. I had text messages of her talking about the overdose and how good it was after. I had text messages of her talking about sending her penis pictures. It was horribly embarrassing.
So for me, like it was, right, because like I have gone from being this wild cowboy type dude that would like really engage in shit like this and whatnot to being more conservative, bro. Like, you know, and so I do try to watch my mouth when I'm in the presence of women and stuff like that. And it's incredibly embarrassing and uncomfortable to have a room full of 7 white women. I'm sorry to put it that way, but like, and then my lawyer is also a woman as well, right? Professional white women that are reading back my text messages, and I'm sitting there like, you know, like, because Cassie used to ask me to talk dirty to her all the time in text messages. She's like, it turns me on, so on and so forth. And so I used to, you know, text her some pretty graphic shit. But also, she asked me for a picture of my dick, bro. And it was embarrassing to me to know to think that that picture was definitely circulating around that office, bro. Because I sent her a picture of my penis fully erect next to a remote control, like a cable TV remote control. And my shit was like an inch and a half, 2 inches past the remote. And so, like, you know, the shit was crazy. I know for a fact that they definitely was clowning and fucking like, yo, this, it's not like, it's just uncomfortable to see that all these years later, to know that you moved past that and you went past that. This blew up your life. You know, you got people, you're going to be people's Thanksgiving stories for the next 20 years. You know, it's embarrassing, bro. Like, it's not a good feeling, bro. Like, you feel victimized almost twice, bro. You feel like the lies that you was told in order to get you to want to do this and continue doing this is one element of it. But, you know, knowing, especially, I had a situation with one of the lawyers that I told Maureen about. She came at me twisted, bro, in one of the interviews. And she was like, yo, bro, come on, man. If you really didn't like enjoy this or whatever, I don't remember what her word was verbatim. She's like, then why did you come back? Why'd you keep coming back?
That was Mitzi Smizer, wasn't it?
That was Mitzi. The one that's always taking it. Yeah. She came at me. You could tell. It's not that she was tough, bro. You could tell she was coming with very strong feminine, feminist energy. Like you could tell. I felt like she was coming at me like she felt like I was a predator, or I was like the same way that a bunch of these females are probably gonna look at this and be like, yeah, that bitch ass, all of that shit. She was coming with that kind of energy, and it didn't feel good, bro. Like you start feeling uncomfortable even in that situation, and it's uncomfortable to begin with anyway. So it's just fucked up, man.
That prosecution art, that was about feminism. It wasn't. They weren't racist. I didn't get a racist vibe out of Maureen Comey or Emily Johnson.
I didn't either.
I didn't get one. But they are heavy feminists. Heavy. Domestic violence, the rights of women, they don't play that shit. And that's why they went after Diddy so hard. The domestic violence and the way he was treating these women. They weren't racist at all. It wasn't a black thing. It was a domestic violence thing, a fight for women. And they tried to make an example out of this guy with the domestic violence, infusing it with Rico charges, which is freaking insane, bro. I've never heard of a Rico where you're infusing domestic violence charges and trying to make it a federal Rico violation. How does that work? So I like Maureen Comey, but they made the right decision firing her because she totally botched that prosecution by ignoring the true victims just because we were males and minorities. I guess that the system didn't want to put minority males forward as victims in something like this. They would rather the weak women and the drug addict little dope head white girls or Chinese girls or Asian girls, whoever they happen to get in these sex trafficking schemes. They didn't want to put healthy, intelligent minority men up and show that we were manipulated in such a grand scale by this woman in this massive decade-long sex trafficking ring. And that's the truth. That is what Diddy is not innocent of the Rico. He got off by the, and I'm not even mad he got off. I'm a victim of Diddy. He's a victim of Diddy, but I salute him. You know why? Because he beat a system that tried to maliciously prosecute him. He was guilty. He should have went to jail. If they did the right thing, he would have went to jail. But they lied. And he deserved that win. He deserved to get off on that Rico. So even though he got off and I'm his victim, I salute him. I wish him the best. I think he needs a lot of counseling, a lot of therapy, but I don't think he should go to jail for this because I think that he's learned his lesson from this. He gonna come home and Diddy ain't gonna fuck around with none of this. I believe that totally.
I don't know about that one, but okay.
He lost too much, bro. I totally think this guy gonna come home, and if he might still do it, but he gonna be a hell of a lot more careful.
I don't know if he gonna be on the freak off shit the same way. It's gonna probably
that's gonna
transition into something else,
It's
bro.
gonna change to
But,
something else.
but is he still gonna be Diddy, bro? Like that dude that's willing to take those risks and out there, you know, the reputation that precedes him. Like, you know, is he gonna be that Diddy?
I don't think so.
I don't know if
He's a meme now. He's a baby oil meme now. And it's sad to say that the greatest hip hop mogul of our generation is now going to be a meme for Johnson & Johnson's baby oil and the most perverted things you can imagine. Diddy's never going to be on the statue and with the respect he once had. The people who used to deal with him, they're not dealing with him no more, dude. You a domestic violence abuser and you a proven freak in federal court. It's embarrassing for these guys to stand next to him. So I don't think he's going to attain the same level of power, but I think he's going to come home and be okay because he got the message.
Yo, Art, I know this is going to go off topic a little bit, but from what he just now said, but I'm going to keep it a buck with you, bro. That hot baby oil, son.
I know what he going to say.
Bro, I'm not even going to lie to you, son. Like, dude, I'm still putting hot baby oil on me after I take a shower, son. Like, that feel amazing, son.
I don't do it no more. I don't use it no more.
Yo, nah. Yo, bro, I'm dead at, look, what the I'm not in a freak off. Who gives a shit? Yo, like, I got put on this. I don't give a shit what anybody say. They could clown dude all day long, bro. I wrote a whole song about it, bro. Like,
he did. And honestly, his song is better than my book. I got to give him that. He got the whole experience of a freak off in 3.5 minutes on a record. It took me 3 months to write this book and edit it, so he got it.
When Cassie would ask you to urinate on her, would she want you to have sex with her afterwards, or this will be after the freak off?
That was only a one-time thing, one. And secondly, not only was it just a one-time thing, but she jumped in the shower right after that. Like, yeah, she jumped in the shower after that, and then they went in the room, and I sat there for hours again until they came back out, and then we continued with the actual routine.
That's a really good question, because I wondered that too. I just forgot to ask. That was a good question.
Yeah, I had to ask. I was wondering too, man. So, but I do want to ask you: did they want your semen too?
Yeah, bro. Like, yeah, it's funny because I testified to that shit.
Yo, they collected your semen too?
Yeah, bro. But how they did it though, how they did it was like every time, I just noticed every time that I would come, she would tell me, you have to come inside of me or you have to come on my stomach. And I would be like, okay. And then every time that I would come, she would jump up and run, and then he would run after her. Like, or he would go first and then she would run after him. It's one or the other. And so they would stay in the room for like fucking 20, 30 minutes sometimes. And I'm like, yo, what the hell is going on, bro? But I didn't think of it at first. And then one time, I just couldn't come, bro. I just was like, yo, this shit is like, this is whack, bro. This dictating shit. Like, I just want to get the fuck out of here, bro. So I pretended to come inside of her. I was like, oh, like I'm straight up like making this. I faked it, bro. And so they go in the room, and then like literally 5 seconds after they go in that room, Diddy popped his head out. I was like, yo, fam, you sure you came? I was like, yeah, bro. But the way I got away with it was because this was the second time that I was supposed to come.
Yeah.
Like I already came the first time. But he's like, you sure you came? I was like, yeah, bro. And he ran back in the room. And then he came back out again and he was like, yo, bro, you ain't come, did you? I was like, "Dawg, nigga, I came, my dude. I promise you I came. I was like, what's the matter? I was like, maybe it was just a little bit of something. I don't know because this is my second time. But it was then that I realized that, oh, shit, my cum is a part of this. Like they trying to do some shit with that. And after that, it went a whole nother level into uncomfortability, bro. I was like, yo, this shit is getting way too out of hand for me.
Like the semen thing, I didn't for years. I wondered what they was doing with that cum.
I thought he was
Because he used
drinking
to,
it, bro.
she used to collect mine in like a little shot glass or a glass, whatever was around. She would give me the cup and be like, "Yo, do it in here." So I'm like, "All right, boom, I jizz in the cup." Dude used to follow behind Cassie like a little kid followed his mother to the refrigerator for juice. I swear, bro. He would just be behind her like this, and she would be walking in the room with my semen in a cup like that shit was in the Holy Grail, bro. And Diddy would be right behind her following like a little kid. And it always looked weird, like, yo, why is he chasing her in the room with this cup? So when I heard the trial and her saying she was painting his nipples with semen, it kind of connected because it showed me why he had such an interest in her having this semen. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a weird situation, bro.
They probably started doing that cup shit after I faked that orgasm, bro.
Make him dress in the cup so we can see this.
Like, we need to see this shit, bro. Like, you ain't getting away with that shit.
So what would happen if y'all shot a blank or whatever? Because I mean, you know how that goes. I mean, if you keep climaxing, a little semen is going to come out, at some point. You know what I mean? So would they have an issue with a little semen coming out?
I can't say that ever happened to me because I always was able to put it. I was always able to I guess put it in the glass. But then eventually, like he's saying, she started telling me to come inside of him. So they stopped asking me once I started doing that. So I guess they was satisfied every time she'd go in the room, which is crazy now that we're talking about this. Because if he did that to you, that means he went in that room and was looking inside this girl's vagina for your semen.
Of course.
That's wild, bro. Yo, you learn some new shit every day, bro. That's crazy.
They
bro.
never asked me to do shit in a cup, bro. Like,
She would be like, yo, here, you want to put it in this cup? I'm like, because I wouldn't come in her. You know what I'm saying? She told me she was on birth control and stuff. I said, I'm not nutting you.
she had the Nuva ring.
Yeah, she had the ring.
Nuva
Yes, she
ring,
did.
bro.
She had the ring. So she's like, yo.
Why
I
we
dislodged
dapping up on this shit, bro?
I
Like, the
dislodged
fuck, bro? Like,
Yo, Art, I'm gonna tell you something funny real quick. I remember I dislodged her ring.
yeah.
I dislodged it, and she called me like 2 days later. She's like, "Yo, you dislodged my ring. I might be pregnant." I'm like, "Oh, shit, for real? What is a ring?" Because I didn't even know what it was at the time. So she explained it to me that it was something that catches the semen so they don't get pregnant or something like that. Some weird shit. I think it's like a release.
Nah, it releases hormones.
It releases hormones. Thank
and
you.
like kills the semen.
The semen,
on it.
yeah. So
some
she
shit.
tried to explain that. And this is when she was like, yo, listen, when we have sex, you can't try to ram all up deep in me. Like, I know I'm asking for it, but just try to be conscious of the ring. So maybe for another couple of months, I was having sex with her, this ring. And then I remember one time specifically, I didn't feel the ring no more.
That shit used to hurt, bro.
Yeah, the ring did hurt.
That shit used to hurt,
It
bro.
felt like you was brushing your shit up against something.
Yeah, that shit hurts.
Crazy, man. So Daniel, I gotta ask you personally, how you feel about the verdict?
I think that Diddy got lucky. I don't want to say that I have such a strong opinion about what where they went with this Rico, if he should have been charged with the Rico, based on the evidence, he's definitely guilty for this, for that. For me personally, bro, I don't look at this the same way everybody else looks at it. I was involved in this, bro. This is an actual experience and not just a story that I'm listening to that's some hot topic, bro. So I feel like I know what this dude is guilty of for me. And him beating the shit out of this woman looked like he was beating the shit out of a kid. Full blown beating the shit out of a kid, bro. Like, they're helpless. So for me, there should never be a statute of limitation for some shit like that, bro. And I think that if he would have went to jail for life, I wouldn't have questioned it. I wouldn't have had any harsh feelings about it. And the same way goes the other way around, especially after the evidence came out and I now understand how involved Cassie actually was. Because if it was just me, Cassie, and him, and this whole thing came out, I would not have any ill will toward Cassie right now. I wouldn't have any bad things to say about her at all. But the fact of the matter is, there were two people that knew about this whole entire operation the whole time, and it's her and him. And she did nothing. This, I mean, I listen. At least I tried to talk her to leave. I tried to do something. At least I maybe not have risked my life and kicked his ass and shit, but I tried to do something. What did she do the other way around to try to warn me or any of us guys? I can't speak for you guys because I don't know what everybody's situation. Maybe there's some guys that she did tell, yo, listen, you know, this box might be hot, bro. But she never warned me. She told me I was the only person doing this shit. So, you know, there's that element of it that does make me feel like, hey, listen, you know, I don't even like saying it, but she's complicit, bro. Like she knew what was going on and she didn't tell us anything. So maybe, you know, God wants to set things right. I don't know. Maybe she will see a day where she has to answer for that. I don't know.
And I had no idea that you made a song for Cassie.
It's not a song for Cassie, right?
It's inspired by Cassie.
But I wrote this song in 2017, bro. I wrote this song in 2017, dude. And the reason I wrote this song was because I was with another model chick that I know, but I ran into her, right? Because at this time I was married back then. So I wasn't like smashing or anything like that, but I ran into this old model chick that I used to rock with back in the day, whatever. And we sitting down at a coffee shop. We didn't go into a coffee shop. I was already in the coffee shop. She came in, saw me, sat down at my table. We talking. And yo, we start talking about our old experiences and shit like that. She's going on and on and on about it. And she's like, yo, what is the wildest sexual experience you ever had in your life? And the reason she asked me that was because the song When We was playing mad loud. Tank.
Yeah.
In a like Jeep right outside the coffee shop, bro. And so she heard it and she's like, I love this song. Did you see the video? All of this shit. So we talking and I didn't tell her about Diddy Cassie shit, but I started thinking about it and I was like, yo, that song is so fire, bro. I need to fucking write a song that like actually answers this chick's question, bro. And I ended up writing a song called Fornicating about you know, being ready to deal with a married woman. You know, it's nuts. But the idea basically was, you know, Cassie told me she was married when she first met me. So it's based on the experience. It's not a song for her, but it's based on the experience. And it's a little dirty, man. So, I mean, if you gonna put that shit out there, bro, you might want to put
Definitely rated R.
It's definitely a rated R song, bro.
You had a song on you or no?
I do, bro. I need to set it up real quick. Hold up.
I heard the song. The first time I heard the song, I was in tears. Because immediately when I heard the first two words of the song, I said, oh my God, this motherfucker done captured the freak off in the song. So I had to stop laughing. I had to stop laughing enough to listen to the song. I said, oh shit, homie, you got it. He said, what you mean? I said, that's it right there.
Yo, so they got several transitions through this, but like you're gonna have to kind of let it play a little something so that you kind of get the real vibe. But here, let me see. I want that baby on you. Yo, Art, imagine my surprise when those 1,000 bottles of baby oil was all over the fucking news. Because I'm going to tell you, I knew this song was dope back then, bro. But I was like, I could never put this shit out there like that. Because if I do, Diddy's definitely coming after me thinking this nigga's going to talk. He talking. He trying to. It would have been clear as day to him that I was talking about this situation, right? So, like, you know, the experience in this situation. So imagine my fucking surprise.
The first time I heard it, all I knew it was about the damn freak off. First time I heard it, I said, yo, why you do shorty like this? Because she wrote a song for me. I think I was telling you, his song trumping. His song trump hers by, I think, like 5 or 10 times. Yeah. Her song don't got no lyrics. It don't got nothing to it. She got French on it, yeah, but you got to throw a known artist on it to make your song hot. His actually got substance to it because the things he's saying in that song is what Cassie used to do to us.
More like what I used to do to her.
Yeah, that's a dope ass record, man.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Yeah, man. It was you know, I started fucking with music actually. It was one of the ways that I was coping with like all this anger and shit that I was feeling. So it wasn't about me trying to get out there and be an artist, anything like that. As a matter of fact, your man had to actually convince me to show you this song and to drop this shit. He's like, you crazy son, like you got it. Like I was like, nah, but fuck it. We here now, bro. My world already blew up, bro. What else could happen, man? I'm like, fuck it, whatever. We swing for the fence, whatever.
Hey, I mean, why not, man? Go for it. So before we end the interview, is there anything y'all want to address?
Thanks.
The only thing that I would say is that, people need to be very careful in just believing every single thing that they hear, man.
Yes.
Like we had no way to really defend ourselves except for coming out into the public and telling our own stories or whatever. But the damage was already done. We were all labeled prostitutes, bro, escorts. And these are family people, bro.
Homosexuals too. Don't forget that, because everybody thought Diddy was having sex with male prostitutes.
Yo,
you ain't hear no record of none of these guys mentioned in the trial having sex with Diddy. How crazy is that, bro? They was talking about this on the media for a year. Supposedly him and Cassie was having freak offs and he was having sex with the male entertainers. Not one male entertainer testified saying Diddy touched him. What's going on, government? You know what's going on? The conspiracy to destroy this guy, which was wrong.
Yeah, but this also had real ramifications, man. Like this ruined my business. I had serious trouble with my family. This is hard to explain. There's nothing you can do. You're dealing with,
entities you have no power over, the media.
Yeah, and that's another thing, bro. My ex-wife contacted me and was like, what did you do? Like how I have ABC News and 60 Minutes, or like I don't know who it was, but some news organizations outside of her job stalking her to the point where she went and had to get pepper spray and she was walking around with weapons and because she was scared that these people were chasing her trying to get a fucking interview with me. So like people don't realize when something like this happens, like the ramifications that this has on someone's life. And it sucks because, it really came with that label that they placed on us. You're a fucking escort. I was never an escort. I never once asked them for money. There were times I went there, they didn't even fucking pay me. I still saw them again. I never once asked them for money. What fucking escort do you know ain't gonna fucking get paid and complain about it?
Escorts take their money before you do anything.
That's my point. You know what I mean? Like I thought I was in, for lack of a better word, pretty interesting, sorry Jada, entanglement. You know what I'm saying? And that it was just us. And so I had no problem with not getting blessed. I wasn't expecting them to do this every single time. It just was like, yo, if they have unlimited resources and they want to bless me like that, I'm gonna fucking take it. Why not?
Yeah.
Real talk. October 3rd. What's your prediction?
I think I said it earlier. Honestly, he was on trial for this Rico and he won. I'm not a hater. I'm a man who respects anybody who has the competency and the skill to get themselves out of a bad situation. And Diddy did that. He spent the bag. He got the best legal representation in the business, and his lawyers did their job. So I'm not angry he got off. I salute him because he was intelligent enough and he was disciplined enough to do what he needed to do with his resources to get himself out the situation. As far as going to jail, I don't think he should go to jail either. This was about domestic violence. This wasn't about anything but domestic violence and the sexual activity of him and his girlfriends. If his girlfriends is able to stay on the street, and they've been exposed not to be victims, why the hell should he go to jail? He should go to domestic violence counseling, he should go to therapy, and he should go to an inpatient drug program for maybe a year to get his mind right, to get him off the drugs, and to try to really build a solid base in him so he doesn't revert back to drug use. And they should let him go home. But to put him in prison for 5, 10 years when these women lied on him like this, absolutely not. So to surmise, I actually intend on writing the Southern District of New York, Judge Submarinian. I'm going to write a letter on his behalf because I'm a victim of him. I didn't even get my chance to actually confront the person who offended me because of what the government did to violate me. Me watching this as a man who sees things, I can forgive. I can move past it because technically I had to forgive and move past it until Cassie lied on him. No one would have ever believed me if I came out with this story. Cassie brought all of this stuff out before the media. Cassie blew up his life. Cassie blew up my life. Cassie blew up dozens of men's lives so she could get revenge on her ex-boyfriend. I'm not really with that. So I'm going to write this court a letter and I'm going to express my opinion and my stance as a victim. But I'm going to also tell him the truth, which is, listen, this guy did a lot of stuff, but you didn't convict him of that, Rico. He should get counseling. He should get domestic violence therapy, drug therapy, whatever it is. And he should get a chance. He has no record. He's never been to prison. Okay, yeah, he's done some horrible stuff. But you didn't get him for that horrible stuff. You got him for the Mann Act on women who were completely complicit with the violation of federal law. If they're not going to do jail time, if they're not getting probation, if nothing is going to happen to these women who were involved, then nothing should happen to him. So I don't think he should go to jail, but I know they're going to try to give him some time. I'm actually praying that I'm praying that they give him a sentence befitting of what they actually were able to create, which is this bullshit Mann Act violation for him paying girls who were involved to be part of it. A year, 2 years. I'd be okay with that. I wouldn't even be mad if he didn't get no time and he got a drug program. Because the truth is, he did what he was supposed to do. He beat the case. He did the right thing to beat the case. There was no attorney misconduct on his side. His attorneys did everything on the level. Diddy deserves a chance to rebuild his life, or at least go to therapy, go to counseling, get the help he actually needs. Then give him a shot. If you get caught up in this shit again, you bury him underneath the prison. But give him a shot. Don't send him to prison for years because these women lied on him. So that's my stance. I plan on trying to write a letter in support of him, actually. Even though I'm suing him. Even though I'm suing him, and I do believe he violated me, I know they maliciously prosecuted him, and that was wrong. So I plan on writing a letter in support.
Yeah, this Mann Act thing. You know, I have mixed feelings about it now because I understand Cassie's side of it. I never met Jane. I even stopped watching this trial. It just was started becoming traumatic for me. So I didn't even get to the point where I saw her story. So I know nothing about this Jane woman. But from Cassie's side of it, now that I understand what was really going on there, I don't think that Diddy is guilty of the Mann Act, man. Like, I mean, because she was his girlfriend that knew the entire time what was going on, and she was complicit with that. But technically, he still would be guilty of the Mann Act because he was flying you out and so on and so forth,
Yes.
right? So either way, I don't think that he should share that. He needs to share that time. But secondly, there's no rehabilitation in our rehabilitation system.
Yeah, there is none.
And so, I really don't know what it's gonna do. If they put him in jail for 2 or 3 or 4 years. Diddy is a beast, man. He's he's a monster, man. Like I've seen it in his eyes when he spazzes out. So if you don't get rid of the goddamn, snake that's in the room, the poisonous snake that's in the room, you don't chop that head off and stop it from having the ability to bite, then you're ultimately doing nothing, in my opinion. And I don't believe that this is going to change this guy. I think it's going to boost his ego even more. I think he's going to be like, yeah, they can, a prosecution of 7 white women, right, couldn't take me down. And it's the feds, 97% success rate, couldn't take me down. I think his ego is going to go through the roof. And there's always a chance that he's going to take this even further now and become worse. because he feels untouchable for real now. The US government couldn't take me down. So, I definitely, now that I understand the situation and I understand how many guys were involved in this and the fact that Cassie, let this happen and she didn't say anything, she didn't speak up to at least us, to try to tell us at least that, maybe you should rethink this or this is what's really going on. I don't think that's only his cross to bear.
Before we end it, man, let the people know what y'all got popping, man.
Well, my business completely failed, and like what we got popping. I'm trying to rebuild my life, homie. Like this shit is crazy. This shit destroyed my fucking life, Art. I don't think you understand like how bad this got, man. Like everybody that I knew, everybody that I know knew that was me. They all knew it was me. And so there was no running from this for me. So, right now I'm building, bro, I got a song out now. We got that. But other than that, man, I'm trying to rebuild my shit, man. I'm trying to rebuild my business. I got to do it, outside of the damn country. I'm traveling around the world right now trying to, just get my bearings again, man. Like this knocked me off of my goddamn, stoop, bro.
As far as for me, future is, I'm trying to help as many people as possible and become as completely legitimate as possible to remove the stain of this from the background of my life. I think I told you I'm in law school. I'm trying to become a lawyer. I might not get it because I got a criminal history, but the sheer knowledge I get from the experience is enough to help other people who may have been through horrible domestic situations like me, with regard to exes who may file false police reports on you, losing your children because your baby mama or your wife lie on you so you can't see your kid because they're using the kid as a weapon against you. That's my mission, to go forward, to try to fight the system from the inside by using the legal knowledge I've gained fighting my own wars and through education. What I want to say for the future is I'm hoping that both of us can move and rebuild our lives enough that this will be something that people will forget, that we were allegedly Cassie's prostitutes, as they're calling us. Because again, when I first met her, I didn't sign up to be no prostitute. I signed up to give her a massage. I had just got out of jail. Eventually, I realized that I was her prostitute. But when I originally went to see her, I didn't know that. I knew she wanted to see penis. I kind of thought it was going to turn into that by some of the things she was doing, asking me to see my penis and stuff. But I wasn't promoting myself as a male prostitute. That's not what happened. I was giving massages. Cassie's the one who came at me with this amazing situation, and I said, "Wow, okay, cool. This will work. No problem."
But they contacted you through an agency, right?
No, I worked for an independent agency, so they got the number from a website that this girl that I was messing with who managed people, and they called her, she gave Cassie my number, Cassie called me.
So Cassie didn't know that you was like that agency wasn't an escort agency?
No, it probably was, because the girl told me it wasn't, but it probably was. Okay. So Cassie probably looked at that, saw it, said, "Oh, he looked like he got a big penis. Let me see what he's about," and called up Shorty.
I got you.
But we hoping that we could both just go forward, put the stain of this behind us. I'm hoping I can get some justice out of the lawsuit I filed against Cassie, because I totally believe that she is a co-conspirator in a massive decade-long sex trafficking ring. She should pay for that. She should not get $30 million and be supported by Me Too simply because Me Too doesn't want to support minority men. Me Too, I'm sorry to say this is a joke. It is a tool used by powerful people, like I said, to destroy men they want to destroy. And they empower lying women to do it. Like the victims of Harvey Weinstein. A lot of those women with Harvey Weinstein, I read through that case extensively. They lied. You can totally see what they did. The whole thing, again, because I'm getting off topic talking about it, is that I want to improve my life so I can help others try to avoid the situations that I've been in, clean up this mess behind this whole Diddy thing, and hopefully go forward and be a positive, productive member of society.
Yo, bro, you think Cassie told Alex the truth, bro?
Absolutely not.
Like
Shout out to Alex Fine, and I mean that with seriousness. I'm not clowning him. Shout out to Alex Fine. He is a man. Because if my woman had came to me and told me the things that Cassie probably told him to make herself look like a victim, I would have told her to go after Diddy for a bag too. So Alex Fine is not wrong for that. People saying that he schemed on Diddy to get a check. No, that's his wife. His wife told him a bunch of foul stuff. Him looking out for the interests of his family and his wife, he probably did encourage her to sue. But I totally do not think that dude knew the extent of her involvement when he supported her in this case.
How you think he taking it?
I don't, truthfully, I don't try to think about homie. That's his problem. That's his wife. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Nah, I'm just like, you see everybody talking, yo, that he's the world's biggest simp and shit
he
like
can't
that.
be taking
But
it
like,
well, but dude,
like-
that's what you signed up for. You got 30 million. I would be in another country, setting my family up there, not worried about American social media. You a multi-millionaire now. To hell with America and all that BS they coming up at you, call you a simp, move you and your wife to another country where that $30 million becomes $200 million, and y'all live the rest of y'all lives on an estate like kings and queens.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like all the other stuff, like with dude, I totally respect dude. I gotta be, especially if he stays with her after all of this. I totally respect him because I couldn't do it. Once I had known that like all these guys was nutting in her and she was manipulating these guys to do this for years, and you lied to me like this, I would line her up for a few years, then divorce her and take half the money. I'm gonna just keep it a buck.
yo, that's mad funny, bro.
I'm gonna just keep it a buck. That's how I give it up. You lied to me. You don't deserve all that money. I would be the 2020 version of Chris Judd. Remember Chris Judd with J-Lo?
Yeah.
The backup dancer that got millions of dollars, married her for a month and sued her. I would be the new Chris Judd. He would be the new Chris Judd. Excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah. I see that differently.
But shout out to him. I don't think he's a simp at all. I think he's a man who was with his wife. He loved his wife. His wife told him some horrible things that happened to her. And as a man who had intelligence enough to figure out some things went wrong, he told his wife to sue. Alex,
So you think all of us is lying, bro?
I know he don't think we lying.
All
There's no way
right,
how he
so
think
I mean, like that gotta have some kind of effect, bro. Cause I mean, look, bro, you stronger than me. Cause even though I stood up in that courthouse, not knowing about these other guys yet, I sat there and was like, hell yeah, I was trying to steal her, and I would have definitely dated her. But let me tell you something, I'd have definitely dumped her ass once all this shit came out. Cause hell fucking no, bro. I'm sorry.
Divorce court.
Hell no, boy.
Divorce court, Cassie.
Nah,
if I
son.
found out it's her man that
Nah,
all of this
son.
happened, we going to divorce court. We there. You mind you just sign over half the money to me now because he's gonna win any divorce proceedings they have. He's gonna win. He's gonna win. Look at the history that got exposed during this trial. This guy can get half of her money and leave her with them 3 kids like that tomorrow. So if he stays with her, I respect him. I really do respect him. I have nothing against dude. I don't think dude is the world's biggest simp. I think he's a man who tried to help his woman out, gave her good advice, and she does like women do when they do nasty, horrible stuff. They don't want people to know. She lied through her teeth. And he, as her husband, he believed her. He went with it until the trial happened. She got exposed.
Look, man, I done been through my own horrific shit. Like, I'm talking horrific shit, bro. Like, I mean, you know, just betrayal, like nobody's business, hurting like crazy, feeling suicidal, all of that shit, bro. And I'm telling you right now, boy, my perspective on this shit just completely changed. I would have been him maybe fucking even 5 years ago, 3 years ago even, but today, hell no, bro. Nah, I'm good.
Never.
With that shit. Never, bro. That. Nah, dude.
But shout out to him. I still respect him, but it couldn't be me. Absolutely not.
Yeah. Nah, I just said shout out to your man, bro. Hopefully he make the right decision, bro.
What position did Cassie prefer the most?
I'm sorry, you referring to sexual?
Yeah. Respectfully.
Not really. Diddy would never let me hit it from the back. He didn't, because I think I used to tear her up from the back. She loved getting hit from the back. So Diddy actually used to make us have missionary sex, and only like when he wanted to, I guess, give her a gift because we were compliant, he would let her turn around and let me smash her doggy style.
I think that's because that's the fastest that she came always.
Yeah.
In missionary, like
And mission, yeah, she
it
does.
was
come
always,
back.
she always
She came
comes
back
like
as
right
a
away.
missionary.
every
Ain't that
time.
crazy how we could relate how this woman
Yeah.
comes and what position she come in? That's insane. But she's a victim. Get the hell out of here. Come on. No disrespect to her, but it's the truth.
Out of curiosity, Daniel, did you contract any disease from her, or did she ever trick you into having sex with her when she was on her cycle, or did she do any weirdo stuff to you or anything?
Nah, she just lied to me and told me that I was the only one. He won that consolation prize. He won the freak off competition, and he won the chlamydia trophy. That's this guy, not this guy.
I got beat. I thought I won the trophy.
He beat me. He
He concedes to that. I lost. He got that all day. He won that prize.
Daniel, you gonna file a lawsuit?
For the longest time, this just has not been a interest of mine. But to be honest with you, the effects that this is having on my life now, and that it has had on my life now, I would be lying to you if I didn't tell you that I have people talking to me right now, trying to get me to understand, what my legal position is in this. And so, although I haven't made that decision as of yet, it is definitely something that I am entertaining because right now, I know the way that I am, the guy that I am. I'm always going to bounce back. I'm always going to make a way out of no way. But damn, bro, like I mean, I lost everything, my dude, and I I wouldn't have gone down this road had I known that she was getting buck wild like that, bro. Like I had way too much respect for myself to get involved in some shit that like that. So, you know, we'll see, man. We'll see. I'll keep you posted. How about that? Yeah, I'm talking about it. I'm having conversations around the subject, bro, and I'm going to see, what's the best move for me to make, and I certainly am going to make the best move for me. So let's be clear. But I said this to Clayton. If Cassie would have just taken that 30 mil, bro, and left, none of this would have happened. But she decided to testify. She decided that she was going to go and she was going to try to actually, stick the knife further, get the kill shot here, right?
Yeah.
And if she would have just taken that money and left that prosecution to having to go after Diddy themselves, first off, they wouldn't have probably been able to connect anything that deep. They would have come at him either differently with different charges, or they would have dropped it and not come at him at all. But all of this would have just fizzled out, right? And I said, but being that she did testify, would it had made more sense if you know for a fact that you have been complicit in this to take 3 million, 2 or 3 million out of that money and just say, yo, listen, I want this to be dispersed amongst all the guys because I know what we were telling them. I know how pissed off they must be right now. I know how betrayed they must feel right now. Some of them have actually been burned by you. Why not actually put something together, disperse it amongst the guys, and I almost could guarantee you nobody would have came after her. We didn't hear a fucking sorry, thank you for reaching out to my agent to try to help me before you knew that there was 50 fucking other balls in me at the same time. Like none of that shit, bro. She disappeared completely. Not a word, not a fucking thank you, nothing, bro. We were nothing to her, bro. We meant nothing. That's what that shit feels like.
To follow up on your question, because now I think I want to answer it. I am trying to put enough. I want to say, bring enough people together because I sued her to hold her accountable for this because I don't believe that she should get away with conspiring with this guy to run a decade-long sex trafficking ring and be put in the media as a victim. So to answer your question, I've spoken to him because I'm a little more knowledgeable in the law. I've spoken to several of Cassie's male escorts, and I've told them the truth, which is, dude, you have a Rico lawsuit against this woman if she transported you across state lines. 3 of the guys I spoke to totally agreed with me, and they are now connected to my law firm. He's still thinking about it. Honestly, I would like us to come together as a unit, considering she destroyed all of our lives. And the same way they tried to sue Diddy and destroy Diddy, we sue her because you was involved in this. You're lying. You lied to these women and used the domestic violence of your situation to hide your own criminality. And that's not going to go here. So maybe even though I'm going through all the hell of being the guy to sue her, maybe God empowered me to be the one with the strength to lead the charge. And I totally intend to lead the charge. As you see, my lawsuit's valid. Like me and you was talking, it's been 2 months. Why ain't Douglas Wigdor said anything? Every time something happened with Diddy, within 48 hours, Douglas Wigdor, who is a remarkable attorney, I don't want to say anything, he's on the news. He's making statements for Cassie. Look at the allegations in my lawsuit, brother. She raped me, she burned me, and this lawyer hasn't said nothing to protect his client in 2 months? Come on, public, she's lying. He can't say anything about Clayton Howard because he knows Clayton Howard is telling the truth, people. Tyrone Blackburn, I saw your clip, by the way. Excellent job about me confessing how Tyrone tried to get Diddy to lie on me. Well, why hasn't Tyrone slapped me with a cease and desist or a defamation lawsuit yet, people? Why has he not done anything? Maybe it's because Clayton never lied. So I totally believe Cassie should be held accountable, and I am working, considering she wants to play games and her attorney don't want to deal with Clayton, the man who they know she burnt and forced herself on her menstrual cycle. I'm going to bring enough guys together that we can civilly sue her and we can get the justice the U.S. Attorney's Office denied us. Because Cassie is not a victim. Cassie's a co-conspirator, like the book says.
Yo, Art. And also, I want to let you know what my thought process is, why I have to think about this. The only thing I'm thinking about is, whether or not this information that I receive is valid enough for me to know for a fact that I really have a case here, because this was traumatic, bro. Everything fell apart for me, my man. And so I don't want to go down this path of trying to sue someone to make this right and put myself through further torture with this man, and anguish and mental anguish if I don't really have a case. But if it turns out that I really do have a case, you bet your fucking ass I'm gonna sue that ass.
And I got a message for Alex and Cassie. If you see this, I am leading the charge. Cassie, you lied through your teeth. You owe me, and you are gonna compensate me for the lies you told to me for 8 years. You are wrong. You are not a victim. You're a victim of domestic violence, yes, but you're not a victim of sex trafficking. You were into those encounters. You misled Daniel. You misled me. You misled the Punisher. You misled Jules Theodore. You misled dozens of men for an 8 to 10 year period to satisfy your own sexual depravity. You're not a victim, Cassie. You're a co-conspirator, and you're going to be held accountable.
And I would say to Cassie, I wanted to say to her, like, I really wanted to stand up at the end of my testifying in court and be like, Cassie, I'm sorry, and then walk out. Now, after learning all of this shit, Cassie, what I have to say to you is, you should have came to me outside of that dream hotel, stopped me, and been like, run, leave. That was your opportunity. Diddy was not around at all. He wasn't in another room. He wasn't anywhere. It was just you and me. You saw me. I saw you. But instead, you chose to call me again afterward and, draw me back in. When I'm thinking I'm the only one. And, I cared enough at that moment to, go over there and not up that relationship that I had with you. I was thinking that we might even be building something. What a goddamn fool. Feel like a goddamn fool, bro.
Don't feel fool. And we both got manipulated, bro. It's not hard to fall. It's not hard to want a beautiful woman who's so inviting. And that's what she is. She was enticing, she was inviting, and this is what she did to all of us. Make us think that we were special to her. When the truth is she was using us to keep her billionaire boyfriend in pocket because she was scheming on getting his bag. And that's the truth. Which she testified to, bro. She testified that if she didn't do this with Diddy, he would go get another girl. So you manipulate me, him, and 35, 36 other men for years to satisfy Diddy so he don't leave you?
But Jay-Z wasn't available, bro.
Yeah, she would have left him, but
So,
Jay-Z wasn't available. Come on, bro. Cassie, you ain't no victim, and you owe me, and you are going to be held accountable again.
And also, Art, just a note to you, bros. It's really important what you're doing, man, because when this came out, and when people like Clayton started standing up and telling his truth, bro, people started ridiculing him. I'm telling all you motherfuckers, I ain't reading shit you say about me. I don't give a shit. Fuck you. I don't care. I'm putting it out there because I'm telling you right now, you wasn't there, and this is how this shit happened. And that's just what it is. So you can go and make whatever stories you want and make whatever fucking, memes and all that. Do it all, bro. Do it all. I don't give a shit. I'm telling you right now, this is how it happened, and it's really fucked up. And I found out at the same time all of you found out what the real truth was behind all of this shit. And it's fucking disgusting.
And Cassie, you're going to be held accountable. Look who connected. You're done because you know you're lying. And me and him, we both know you're lying. So it's going to be over, and hopefully she will be held accountable for the lies she told to 36 men for over a decade.